Well, well, well. What's conjuring, apprentices? How are you all doing today? How was your weekend, first and foremost? Me? I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. However, I've got one thing to say. One primary thing that I didn't do, which I said I would do, but that I didn't do. That was making some maple syrup ice cream. I know, I don't know why. I don't know why I never got around to eventually doing it, but for whatever reason, I never did. I guess it just completely slipped my mind for whatever reason, and I just don't have it. But, maybe I'll, maybe I'll get around to it eventually. However, how is everyone doing? I think, at least for myself, besides that, oh my gosh, rewatching or watching through Shinsekai Yori again is so good. My gosh, I love that anime so much. It is unbelievable how much I love that anime. It is genuinely my favorite for a really good reason. I'm doing fine. Last day off tomorrow still. Oh, I see. Have you got anything in mind? Like, or are you just chillaxing? Are you just chillaxing for your last day off? How have you spent your last couple of days in that case? And hello, Kaimana. Also, I saw Homura-san was in the YouTube chat. Hello! Hello. I like the anime too, just some scenes confuse me and stuff. Kaimana says I really loved it too. Yeah, gosh, I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it because it genuinely is one of my absolute favorites. It is one of my absolute favorites of anime of all time. And you know, it's like very seldom do I actually say this, but I think it's probably a must-watch. It is so crazy good. I love it. All of the plot points, super significant. There are so many mysteries. There's so much like... I know that the anime, it has a tendency to spell things out. At least I think so. I think that Shinsekai Yori has a couple of moments where it tends to spell things out for you. Like, whenever, and now, I know, I'm already getting into the discussion about the anime just because of how much I love it, but I could really just gush on about it. I'm looking through my notes. I have got, let's see. If I scroll through this, I have got a total of approximately 80 bullet points that I wrote down for the first 7 episodes. 80 bullet points for the first 7 episodes just because of how many things I think this anime talks about and just because of how many things I noticed. Maybe it's because I have context to what the anime goes on to talk about, what it attempts to tackle in terms of like philosophy, in terms of some of the principles that it brings up, in terms of like morals and ethics. Oh my gosh, there are so many different topics and so many different aspects to the story, to the world building, to everything like that that can be tackled by this. Hello chat, hello Homura Hog-chan, and, oh, hello to Rondel, I guess. Hope you all are well. I'm good. Hi, Dragon the Dojo Mama. Why am I the second-class citizen here? Why is that the case? What have I done to earn your ire? I've done nothing like that. Hello, Homura-san. Yes, we do have Homura Hog on screen. Homura Hog as one of our, I guess, resident pets. I'm not sure. She's just so cute. She's just strutting her way. She's strutting her way. I think she's off to see her friends right now. She told me that she just got back from filming and she just saw Madoka, so now she's off to go back home for some tea. So she's had a long weekend indeed, but it's all to make sure that we get the new Madoka Magica 4th movie, which should be coming out this year, I think, sometime. I keep saying this, I keep forgetting to Google it, but I'm not sure. OMG, I'm not alone on YouTube anymore? Yay! You haven't been for a bit, actually. Homura has been here. She, I think, joins around middle to end of my streams. I'm not entirely sure. I don't keep track of all my apprentices' joining patterns, but yes. I think you two have just missed each other barely in that case. I know that, Shamsi has shown up a couple of times as well. He joined me for some of the Resident Evil streams. And then I think there was... Well, Clash joined for the Jackbox ones. But yeah, it varies, I suppose, whenever people show up on YouTube. But Twitch is more often than not the more populated platform as to which I stream. However, I think that's about enough yapping, so to speak. I'm going to play a little bit, and I don't know if anyone knows this game, but I'm going to play a bit of Star of Providence. It's a really cool game. It's one of my, I wouldn't say favorites, but it is a very fun game. It's got a somewhat, retro, but, Enter the Gungeon-esque gameplay, but more bullet hell heavy, which I really enjoy. It comes out like August 28th in Japan theaters. Oh, okay, so then August 28th. That makes sense then. Also, hello, Silent Scythe. How are you doing? How are you doing? Wowie, another game I'll probably put on my wish list. I mean, I was wondering if I should have played a little bit of... Wait, mods? Oh, okay. It's just not hard mode and whatnot, yeah. So I've not really played this a whole bunch, but yes. I do enjoy this game. It is quite fun. The only issue that I have with it is that I beat it first try. So I thought it was a little bit easy, but it's a different beast entirely whenever I'm playing this on stream. So that's the main downside, I suppose. I need to keep adjusting the volume for this because it varies between insanely loud and not loud at all. So I'm not sure. I'm good. How about you? I'm doing pretty good. Unfortunately, I did forget to make my maple syrup ice cream, so I'll probably do that eventually. Inevitably, I will do that again, and I'll finally get around to doing it. But yeah, my weekend was pretty good overall. How was everyone else's? I think, all in all, my weekend was fairly solid. Fairly solid. I forget what the button is for OK. What's the OK button? Wait, what? Controls? Left, maybe it's, oh, it's E. Need ammo. Okay, in that case. Question for Auger and chat. When watching anime or reading manga, what's more important? Writing or enjoyability? Also, welcome. Welcome, Okami. I'll answer that right now. Just hello to everyone tuning in. Oh, okay, it's a teleporter. I don't know why. It's called Star of Providence, Okami. And honestly, to me, I think it's a bit of a combination between whether or not I enjoy the writing enough to excuse it. Okay, I cannot be looking over at chat at the same time that I do this. Watching anime or reading manga, what's more important, writing or enjoyability? I think I could actually justify. I could justify that if it's fun enough that I do not have to care. That I do not have to care about how bad the writing is, because if there are enough flashing things on screen, maybe I'll enjoy it enough that I don't have to worry about much else, but I'm not sure. It really depends on how much I like the characters, because sometimes I can see myself... Oh, that's a spike. I don't know why I ran into that. Sometimes I can see myself thinking like, okay, the writing is so bad that I really just do not enjoy it, but at the same time, I feel like I've gotten through worse isekai anime or manga just because it has the virtue of being isekai in that case, you know? But how about yourself? How about yourself, Dragon no Dojo Mama? How do you feel like that? Oh, definitely like Binding of Isaac and Enter the Gungeon. Yeah, exactly. It's a really fun game. It's just, well, questionable as to how difficult you'll find it to be. I did unlock hard mode because I beat it first try, but I don't have many hours on everything else in the game itself. It's a fun game, though. It's a fun game nonetheless, because it reminds me of some of those, like, older arcade shooters and whatnot, plus I'm a bit of a sucker for CRT-like aesthetics and gameplay, so it plays very arcadey, and I feel like there's a severe lack of arcade-like games nowadays. Okay, let's see. Increase max HP? Recovers 1 HP, however. Recovers... 3, yeah, we'll take it. I mean, I probably didn't need to, but, you know, because I'm just too good at this game. That's a common trend, as you'll probably see on my channel. I'm just too good at games, and it makes it really, really easy to beat it. And now, I got an upgrade to my weapon, which now... Oh, okay, it's got ammo. I just need to double-check the controls again. But I figure that we'll wait around 10-ish minutes or so, until we decide to begin talking about... guns on hold. Until we begin talking about Shinsekai Yori. Unless you guys feel that there is something more. Or depends. I feel my enjoyability is usually tied to how good the writing is. Like, I enjoy something much more when it is written well. I definitely feel that to be the case, but then it becomes the inverse, right? How much are you willing to excuse because the writing is either poor or because the enjoyability is poor? Like, let's say, or do you feel that they're not dichotomous or completely separate? Like, I do think that enjoyability comparative to the quality of writing is, to an extent, tangential, right? You see an increase in enjoyability for so long as you enjoy the writing. However, I do think that you can get away with having a lot of bad writing insofar as it's actually fun to watch, mostly because if you go by some qualitative standards of writing, do you only include the spoken dialogue, or is it everything else that happens as a result or in the show itself? So, while I can see it to an extent, I do feel like sometimes art direction and sometimes just peak hype moments and aura farming can sometimes work. But I don't know. It depends. No, I wouldn't say that it's the case all the time. It's definitely seldom, but I do think it's possible for it to survive without that being the case. You know, without it having to have the best writing of all time, or for it to have at least a semi-decent level of quality to its writing, you know? So I think it can get away with it to a certain extent. And that's why I say, oops, I did not mean to heal. That's why I think that... Oh, wait, no, this is my upgrade. Reserves. You know what? We'll take this one. I like having a bunch of money and a bunch of damage. So I think that having a certain level of writing, you can usually get away with it. I think, if anything, maybe it's best to describe the level of enjoyment and writing quality as being something more along the lines of... if it reaches a minimum standard or a minimum level of being good in terms of writing, then I think it's possible to say that enjoyment becomes more of an important factor than the actual quality of writing itself. Like, if, for instance, I said that this had like a 3 out of 10 writing, that might be, it would depend on what your qualitative measure is for it, that would determine to an extent whether or not I can say, okay, at this point, I think the actual enjoyment or animation of it is more important than, say, the writing at that point, right? Like, all you need in some cases is just a simple basis for which to discuss the story, and that's enough, per se. But yeah, it is very, very variable. So, a handheld game. Okay, there we go. I enjoy a lot more when the world is built well. Characters are enjoyable, and I sure love my lay epic hype moments, but they feel a lot better and enjoyable when they're built up through the writing. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that, but as said, I think that it requires a minimum level or a minimum standard to writing that you can kind of like benefit the most off of. Like, of course, if you had 10 out of 10 writing, you might even bring up an enjoyment factor of 5 up to a level of maybe 7, right? Like, you can bring it up maybe by 2 points. But again, it's variable as to whether or not that... Oh my gosh, I've never played this stage before. This sucks. I think I'm just... Jeez. But I think if you had it just be really entertaining all the way through, I think you could see it as being... I think you could see it pulling up maybe the score of writing or the enjoyment of it being enough of a redemption to it, you know? Like, sometimes something can just be mindless or dumb fun, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And, yeah, of course, qualitative writing does matter as well. Anyways, I gotta go. Just wanted to drop by and say hi, goodbye, chat, and as a goodbye gift to Auger, Rondel. Whoa! Thank you, my apprentice. Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I hope to see you tomorrow whenever I play Yakuza 0. Take care, Dragon no Dojo Mama. Take care. But yes, wow, bye. Yeah, exactly. Also, I do not like the temple. The temple seems pretty difficult, actually. Oh, am I meant to kill these? Oh, okay. Hope you have a nice stream and day. I hope so as well. No, I'm sure it'll be good. Thank you so much. Hope to see you tomorrow, my apprentice. Hope to see you tomorrow. So, where were we, guys? What do you guys think? Do you think that, as Dragon no Dojo Mama was saying, do you think that you prefer or prioritize qualitative writing, or do you think you prefer more on the enjoyment / enjoyability side of things? How do you feel about it? Also, I'm going to die. I've really not got a lot of health. Yeah, this isn't going so well. This temple is actually really difficult. I think this must have been a new mission I unlocked after I beat it the first time, but I'm not sure. I can't choose, but writing is slightly more important, I think. What do you think makes writing good for it to be more important, or why do you think that the enjoyability of something can't be dumb fun to the extent at which you can just enjoy it for itself, even without it being necessarily good? Because I think, for instance, you could argue that something being a set level or an amount of dumb fun doesn't have to contribute to being good writing in some way. Like, again, does writing include basically everything storyboarding? Because then you could probably say that, oh, all of the animation is technically written down and therefore is important or is a part of, let's say, the writing itself. So you could say the animation is included in that, the entertainment of it or the enjoyability of it is included in that. But sometimes I feel like I could say to myself, well, actually, I thoroughly enjoy this enough and the concept of something more than I actually think it's any good. And I kind of think this is the case with some of the games that I enjoy. Not like any in particular. I would maybe say that I've got a little bit of a bias for like Dragon's Dogma because of how much I enjoy it. But I think Dragon's Dogma has a lot of really, really cool concepts to it that unfortunately don't always play out how you would want them to, and therefore I feel like I'm in love with the idea of it more than sometimes the gameplay gives me access to be able to enjoy it. So I think in that case, or at least in cases like that, yeah, for sure, I can see myself enjoying it way more. Just the ability to make it readable and making the experience enjoyable, so enjoyable that you forget the time. The enjoyability is connected to writing. Yeah, it definitely is, and that's what I mean by it being tangentially related. Like, if I were to, as said, use the example of 10 out of 10 writing, and by base level standards, you could say that the enjoyment or enjoyability of a show is around 5, then maybe you can make the argument that, okay, the 10 out of 10 writing makes this actually 7 out of 10 in terms of enjoyment instead of just the 5 out of 10, if you were trying to rate them independently of each other. But again, they're tangentially related, so how much do you attribute one to the other, and how much do you think one can pull up the other one? And that's why I'm thinking that, like, oh, another challenger. Okay. And that's why I'm thinking that it's possible to say that the enjoyment of something is innate to the writing of something, which is why I feel like if something is good enough in terms of entertainment, that it can probably justify itself being a little bit poorer on the side of writing itself, you know? At least that's how I feel about it, but yeah, it depends. Also, I just noticed the dash does not stop you from taking damage. It does not give you iframes. That's actually really lame. I just noticed that. Okay, I guess I'll keep that in mind. I was using the dash to try and get away from things, but no, it just helps you move faster. It's not a iframe movement. Unfortunate. Besides that, I think... Oh, wait, no. I've still got a little bit of time. I'm wondering if Disco will show up and if Helios is going to show up, because in that case, I might then wait a little bit more before I begin to talk about Shinsekai Yori, but I do have a lot to say. I do have a lot to say about Shinsekai Yori, mostly because it's my favorite, and this is probably the 5th time that I've watched it, but I'll do a little bit of a roll call, I suppose. How many of you in chat right now have actually watched Shinsekai Yori for the AniManga Club? I just want to double check. So, I mean, you can relate enjoyment to art style, the voice acting too, so if those are bad but the writing is good, it's not going to be fun. Okay, yeah, well, yes, but then again, it also depends, right, on, like, the amounts of how you attribute to it. Like, yes, you can relate enjoyment to the art style, voice acting, etc. It's usually always bad if those things are bad too. So I feel like maybe it's a little bit unfair to try and attribute all of those things to just enjoyment, right? Like, you could quantify enjoyment as including basically everything about it, right? Like, oh yeah, it includes art style, it includes all the art direction, It includes how they've animated it, and I would argue that to an extent a budget can make a massive difference too. So I don't know exactly or for sure like how much one wants to say about it, but yeah, that's at least my thought. Yeah, I think for me, I'm fully into the enjoyment. It's like with video games, for me to give an example, I've played games that are really bad, but the music is so good that I don't really care that the game is bad. It makes it very enjoyable for me. Yeah, exactly. So you could, for instance, just spend a whole bunch of time listening to the soundtrack, even if the game sucks. Like, maybe there's one mechanic to the game that makes you feel like, oh my gosh, I would love to come back to play this even more. And I feel like there are a couple of games like that. Like, you just need a really solid foundation, and I feel like that is very similar to how you can begin to enjoy certain anime or manga, despite it not being very well written, because you just fall in love with the idea of something, or because you would tend to enjoy certain parts about it way more than otherwise. Also, what is Shinsekai Yori about? So, to give a little bit of a synopsis for today's, for today's AniManga stream, the Shinsekai Yori is about the future of the world after telekinesis, or after psychokinesis was found. So humans are discovered to have the potential for Esper-like abilities, which includes psychokinesis, it includes telepathy, it includes a whole bunch of different things and being able to use these different powers. So how does the world change and what comes as a result of it is basically what the show is about. It is so good, and it discusses a lot of the morals about like what it's like for humans to kill humans, what it's like for humans to treat others, how we decide to develop the world if we were all to have powers and be reduced from what we call now our golden age, even though you don't think it is. Humanity has never been better per se. It's about that. What if we were to lose it all, but every single human has psychic abilities? Is what it's about. So it's really, really good. It has horror elements. It has a whole bunch of mystery to it, and it's got a lot of things to talk about, which is why I ended up with like 80 bullet points. So true. Sometimes I go back to those games. Yeah, right. And it adds a whole bunch of replayability to it as well. For animes, there's this one song I like, but the anime was bad. I forgot the name, but talking like Talking Ben here. Yeah, I get that. I mean, to me, I think that there are some of these that I tend to fall towards. Like, I know that this is most likely going to be a bit of a hot take, but the original Nier and some of the Drakengard games, the story is incredible, but the game sucks. I'm sorry to say, but the game is like, it's very monotonous. It's very monotonous, and I would be extremely hard convinced that people like the gameplay of Drakengard, because it is quite literally running around with no combos, fighting off giant waves of enemies, and at most your upgrades are something along the lines of deal 5% more damage, or deal 10 more damage, and gain 10 more HP, or move a little bit faster. And that's it. That's basically the entire game throughout all of it. And it lasts for a runtime of maybe 20 hours or so. But the story is crazy, crazy good. So, TO1? Huh? I'm not sure. Sorry, I'm not sure what that meant. But yes, it is very good. It is very good, and I enjoyed Drakengard despite its like downsides, so I completely relate in that sense, at least. I can't type, bro. Okay, I was just double checking. So I wanted to make sure. I was like, wait, what? Because my my interface shows or my integration shows all of the messages, even if you do delete them. I don't know if it actually works with edits. Can you even edit your message after you send them? I'm not sure. But yes, I thoroughly enjoy Shinsekai Yori. However, I guess in relation to Shinsekai Yori, because I see this, or at least I've heard this comment now multiple times before, that people get very confused watching the anime. They're like, there are too many time skips, there are too many flashbacks, there's so much going on, and I don't know how to follow it. That is one of the most common things that I hear about Shinsekai Yori. But I actually, yeah, I was so confused usually. Yeah, but if I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it has much of that problem. It could be, because I never felt like it was ever too much for me. Oh, I've never done this. Wait, what? Okay. I don't know how to do this. Oh, okay, I see. Oh, never mind. This sucks. Wait, what? I've never... Oh, okay, it's just like small mini games in that case. It's like WarioWare. Okay, cool. Shinsekai Yori has a lot of instances where it tends to focus on random, like, events, or, well, I won't say random events in history. They're clearly the most significant events in history. G-Man? Okay. Also, hello, Virgil. Let me do this then. Swap over timer. G-Man. What made you pick G-Man? Rise and shine. Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. What's your favorite emotional anime? I would probably say that my favorite emotional anime is Shinsekai Yori. I like it. This will be weird when he reads my messages. Yes, it will be weird when I read your messages. I'm not sure what these weapons are. Oh, it's a drill. I've got one thing left. Could be anything. Yes. Oh, here. I was slightly confused, like how they say seal and unseal their canters or whatever. And then Saki just reactivates Satoru's power with his mantra. Yes, how it works is that Saki and the others have a mantra. A mantra is like a password to remember all of their psychokinesis powers. Prepare for unforeseen consequences. It's been a while since I last heard G-Man. Been a while indeed. Oh, I could have just shot this. I could have. Mine's Oshinoko. I cried in the first episode. I've never actually watched Oshinoko. I could not say. However, so they can't reactivate it themselves, or do they need another person? It's a little bit difficult to explain while doing this voice, but essentially, the way that it works is that... Oh, now I'm okay, sure. The way that it works is that it's a hypnosis placed on all of the characters. Every one of them has this hypnosis placed on them, and that's why they have to discard their worldly desires and possessions in order to use their mantra and attribute it to their soul. That's why they do not want them to remember that they have a mantra. In which case, if they remove the mantra, they have lost their ability to use PK, aka psychokinesis. With psychokinesis as their cantus, that then removes their ability to use it whatsoever. And once they've lost it, they can't regain it. Saki, however, was able to remember. She remembered Satoru's mantra simply because she had heard it once before. And since she had heard it once before, she was able to remind Satoru about his mantra, therefore allowing him to break free of the hypnosis that it was sealed. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, the thing is up, the timer's up. I can stop. Yes. So essentially the way that mantras work is that they're a way for them to manifest their soul into the world, and one of the reasons why they have to discard their worldly desires and worldly wants and emotions is because otherwise they would be tied to the real world, if that makes sense. So what they're essentially trying to do is trying to inhibit the way of holding onto those powers. So the High Priest, Munjin, I think it was, or Mujin, was able to completely remove it. Or I guess from what we see, it's Rijin. He decides to get rid of it as they break the code of ethics, which is why. So Last Half-Life game we had was in 2021. Yes, actually, I think I've got Half-Life Alyx because I do have an index. Maybe I'll do like a VR stream someday. I'm not entirely sure. There are a couple of games that I would like to play on VR and whatnot as well. Oh, okay. Yeah, just let me know if something's unclear. But yeah, basically that's how it works. I want to live in a world like that with those powers so bad. I think you should hold off. I think you should hold off on that for a little bit. Yuri DDLC fan. Hi, it's me, Homura-san from YouTube. I came here because YouTube is too far back for me. Oh, no worries in that case. Welcome then to Twitch. Oh my gosh. And also, fellow Yuri fan, lay-based. Yuri's one of my favorites. I think I like her more than Monica. It's hard to say because I feel like they're so closely competitive to me, but I do like Yuri as well. Let's see. I'm also I'm too sure that Shun is sus. He's gonna do something. Why do you think he's going to do something? Do you feel like there's any reason for him to do something? I'm not sure. In that case, I don't want to spoil anything. Obviously, I mean this is like the fifth time that I've watched it because oh my gosh, Shinsekai Yori is just so incredibly good. I could go on about it all day. It genuinely has some of the best moments and everything. Yuri and Sayori are my favorite DDLC characters. Oh, what about Sayori did you like the most? I just really liked Yuri because of how obsessive she was. It's very seldom to get a whole bunch of like yandere characters in the game. I just really like them, just in general. I just know he peeves me off. He peeves you off? Has Shun done anything to make you peeved off? Or was there anything that he did? Because honestly, in the first six or seven episodes, I don't think there's much that he actually does. At least not for a good while. So we don't get to see much of anyone but like Saki and Satoru in the beginning anyway. So I'm not sure what there is to feel a little bit frustrated about, you know? Honestly, I forgot most of the character names, lol. I know Maria and Satoru and Saki. Yeah, Saki is the main character. Satoru is the boy that she walked with. Then you've got Seiko, technically, who was the shy, timid one who really doesn't like violence. Then you've got... I mean, that's basically it of the main crew. Though, technically, there is one more. There's one more. I don't know if you guys noticed this. Satoru Gojo? No. We're talking about Shinsekai Yori. We're not talking about Jujutsu Kaisen. This is a different Satoru completely. Satoru in Shinsekai Yori is one of the one of the male protagonists that Saki goes through with the Forsten during the Quirat raid or the Bakanezumi raid. So that was I really like that whole sequence of events because it really, if anything, it's so cool to be able to see or follow all of these characters throughout their entire lives all the way up until like the end. I don't know, you'll have to see if you decide to watch through it. He's so hi, look at me, I'm all perfect and powerful. I don't think he's been like that at all. I don't think he's been like that at all, Kaimana. What do you mean? I don't know, I just like her, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, fair, if anything. But what makes you have that impression, Kaimana? I don't think Shun has ever shown off. He's just been... I mean, he's good at a lot of what he does, but it's not like he rubs it in people's faces or anything like that, you know? He's never really shown off towards any of the characters in the show. At least. So, I don't know, I just dislike him, and his face annoys me too. Okay. I mean, that doesn't sound like a reason, but sure. It's just like, yeah, he really frustrates me. He just sucks so badly. You know what I'm gonna do as well? I'm gonna pull up my my notes on all of this. That's so shallow, WTF, Kaimana. I mean... Also, I didn't know this game had secret rooms. I know it was meant to be a bit like Binding of Isaac, but I guess I just completely forgot the entire part about it, like having secret rooms at some point. I don't think Shun has ever been very braggadocious, though. He's very humble, all things considered. I like Shun. Your face annoys me, Kaimana. Oh my gosh! And he redeemed an effect for that. Whoa! Pigeon really joining in with something evil like that. Well. Unfortunate. How are you doing, Pigeon? Did you get a chance to watch the first 6 or 7 episodes? The first 6 or 7 episodes of this week's AniManga Club? If not, that's fine. I did not. No worries. But, however, be warned, we are talking a little bit about spoilers, in which case you might have a couple of things revealed to you in such case. So, if you don't mind that overly much, we're mostly discussing the some of the plot points that I'd written down, mostly because it's observations and things that I really enjoy about both Shinsekai Yori and just how it decides to go about its storytelling. It's one of my favorites, if not my favorite anime of all time, just because of how many things it touches upon and does so incredibly well. Like, I really, really love this anime with all my heart. That's why I was willing to recommend it despite having watched it 5 times already, or previously. You're grounded, son! What? What? He's grounded? I can't believe this. I can't believe this. And I won't? Wait, are you not gonna watch it in that case, Virgil? Oh my goodness. He doesn't want to be a part of the AniManga Club. Shaking my head. Oh well. Anyways, I'm gonna continue talking about it. So, I'm just going to go over a couple of some of the points that I had written down. We can probably start in a little bit of like a chronological order because I think we've gone over some of the characters. However, actually, do we want to discuss some of the characters in general, do you feel? I had an entire extra cut of bluefin tuna today, and that's all I care about? Oh, that sounds really nice. I really enjoy bluefin tuna. It's not half bad. However, I do feel like depending on the amount of fatty cuts that you get, it really depends. It really depends if I need to eat it with something else, like other pieces or cuts of fish whenever I have my sushi, or if I just have it on its own. So, depends. You're missing out, Virgil. It's really good. Sorry, I stopped watching anime. I don't believe you for a single second, Virgil. I don't believe you whatsoever. You say I've stopped watching it, but really, it's just a matter of time before you eventually do so again. Just manga now? Well, yeah, you can read Shinsekai Yori's manga. Like, that's the reason why this is the AniManga Club, because we only pick things that have a manga equivalent as well. So people who enjoy reading can also read that. I've both read and watched Shinsekai Yori, so, I mean, that's the point. Trying to create a bit more accessibility. So if you feel like you prefer reading, by all means, go ahead and read it as well. As said, that's the point of picking shows/series that have a manga equivalent. In which case, I think, last I recall anyway, Shinsekai Yori had a very good manga too. I never read the light novel, however, so I can't comment on it in its entirety, but I reckon it's good. I reckon it must be good to some extent, right? Survive? Okay, I can do a bit of that. We do a little bit of surviving here. Oh. Oh no! Oh my gosh, this is difficult. I really don't like some of these. Good night. Wait. Oh, okay. Virgil just says good night. Very well. Good night, Virgil. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Or well, I suppose you won't. Wait. Am I? Oh, okay. I meant to copy. This is like. I don't know how I feel about WarioWare stuff. Wait, what? Okay. I've never done this before. Close your windows? Why does she need to close her windows? Wait, does that mean Kaimana is swapping to Linux? Oh no. And people said Linux update drivers wouldn't need to be changed at this point. Either way, let's see. Hello, Helios, or, sorry, Rotundel, formerly Helios. How's it going with you? And question, were you able to watch some of Shinsekai Yori? Or how did that go? Busy week? Well, have you played Needy Streamer Overload or Overdose? Sorry, I can't read. Overload or Overdose? Yes, I have played it before. It was pretty okay. It's not like I'm gonna yet another semi-controversial opinion, I guess, from me. It was okay. It was okay. It wasn't like anything amazing or super special to me. I liked the aesthetic. That was pretty good. So, besides that, I'm not really sure. It was nice, but that's pretty much it, at least for me. So, I finished my programming project and almost made all my flashcards for studying. Oh, what are you studying now then? Helios? Sorry, I'm like on the verge of calling you Rotundel. I feel like I'm very close. I played it before. I played it before it was okay, but I liked the art style. I'm gonna assume you meant before. I'm not entirely sure. Sorry. It is okay. It is okay. I like the art style as well, but I honestly couldn't. It's somewhat surprising to me, but I'm curious as to why it became very popular beyond its aesthetic. Beyond its aesthetic, I wonder what made it super popular. I get it to a certain extent. She is very cute, but at the same time, every single ending is pretty much bad. Every single ending is horrific of what happens to the streamer and needy streamer Overdose. And it's not a very long game. So I'm surprised that it left as much of an impression as it did, but also that people kept going on with it for as long as they did. It's a little bit like, what is it called? The me side. That's it. Me side is also very short. It's like 2 hours. I played it as well, and it was pretty okay. Good for a first project. It's like Doki Doki Literature Club, but honestly, I felt like DDLC stuck with me more than some of these did. I'm not sure. Maybe I got more attached because there was way more dialogue, but I felt me side was very gamey comparatively. So I'm not too entirely sure. I don't know how to spell. Don't worry. You see, I'm a wizard. I can spell pretty well, actually. I'm not half bad at spelling, but unfortunately I don't know if I know a spell to help with spelling, if that makes sense. So, otherwise, who do we think are our favorite characters so far? I know what my answer is going to be. I know what my answer is going to be in terms of who my favorite character is in Shinsekai Yori, because it's going to be Maria. Maria is one of my favorites. She's so Shadow the Hedgehog coded. No, what I mean is Maria I really like. But we don't really get to see much of her just yet. So actually, my answer will be mostly Saki, because we get to see most of her. However, Maria is my favorite. I do like Shun as well. Shun is probably one of my absolute favorites too. However, I cannot wait until I think it's like halfway through the show or the series that we get to see my I don't want to say actual favorite character. Maria is still my favorite character, but halfway through the show is when we eventually get to see one of my other favorite characters. Is Maria a yandere? If so, I concur. No one's really a yandere in the show. So there's no one who's like obsessive or possessive or anything like that. Again, did you, Helios, did you get around to being able to watch it? Or were you saying in response to asking if you'd watched it, or if, yeah, in response to me asking you if you had watched it, that you were busy, and that's why you were talking about that. Half of episode 1. Oh, okay, sorry, I didn't see some of that. I was trying to catch up with chat, but they were busy having a different conversation, so I couldn't read through that. I haven't played Me-Side because I'm broke, and I'm unemployed because I'm too young to get... Oh, I mean, fair enough. It's okay. I think it's okay. Homura, aka Yori, now in Twitch chat. So, I'm not sure. But the programming project is done now, so I should be able to catch up next week. Yeah, no problem. I'm not going to try be overly specific in that case, because it seems like... Even though we've got about half of us who have watched it, it seems like the other half have not watched Shinsekai Yori just yet. Where is the boss? Did I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something here. Okay. That's the shop. Sorry, I'm just gonna look for this. I cannot find the boss whatsoever. I thought I was meant to be going down somewhere. Oh, okay, I need to scroll down, I suppose? There? No. Oh, where? Mini-boss, you are here. Let's see. Sorry, am I completely blind? Where is the exit? Okay, I've grabbed that. What? Where's the exit? I'm really confused. In here? No. In here? Did I, like, lose because I didn't go to the boss or something? Oh, don't worry, I don't mind spoilers unless they spoil me one big mystery the show is about. In fact, as long as they are... As long as they don't, they are more than likely to motivate me to watch the show if something cool happens. Okay, yeah, because a lot of my favorite scenes in Shinsekai Yori are not really spoilers as much as they are really significant to plot points or developments, rather. Because, obviously, I don't want to try and spoil a whole different aspect or most of the aspects to Shinsekai Yori, because I believe that there are a lot of good moments. Okay, apparently none of these are secret rooms either. And I don't have any bombs. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna restart. What is the point? Yeah, sure. Restart. Hold to confirm. Okay. I don't know where I was meant to go there. I think I must have messed up or something. Yeah, there aren't a whole lot of instances that I feel like... Because I don't want to spoil a mystery whenever I talk about it. But yes, just speaking in general, what was everyone's favorite character? I know that Kaimana really does not like Shun. I really like Maria. Mr. Brown, did you have any character that you thought was your favorite? I think some of the interactions between Satoru and Saki were, I think... Oh, without trying to give too much away, I really like some of the connotations and how they decided to present the story. Like, everything leading up to that point so far has had significance. I think that's one of the few things that I think Shinsekai Yori does really well for basically all of its mysteries, is that it will always, and I do feel like, despite the arguments or the points being that some people think the anime is very confusing at points with it, like having flashbacks and it talking a lot about world building and history and everything like that. I do think that Shinsekai Yori, with all of its like tracebacks or flashbacks or whatever, whenever it tries to bring up points of discussion in the past, is really good for what it does. It's probably the best way, I want to say, of trying to bring up different points that you otherwise might have forgotten. I do think it kind of spoon-feeds some points, though, because of how difficult it might be to say that you aren't confused. So, Maria's really cute, and Satoru too. I hate Shun, yes. Okay. I mean, I want to say fair, but I also don't think Shun deserves that. I don't know what he's done to hurt you, Kaimana. He's done nothing. He's not even braggadocious or anything. I assume I'm not past all character introductions, so I'll pass on that question for now. Yeah, don't worry. I'm obligated to like Maria because of her VA, Kanazawa, though I don't see enough of her yet, so I like Saki, I guess. Yeah, that's fair. We don't get to see much of her just yet. Basically, every arc focuses on one of the different characters, so yeah. We'll see more of her eventually. And then... well, once we get all of that, there will obviously be more instances where we get to see all of the characters together, and by the end of episode 7, we do see all of the characters together. So there are times that some people just can't like some people. Yes? Is this in reference to something in particular, Kaimana? Why? What do you mean? Yes, there are sometimes characters that people just don't like for whatever reason, but I'm not too sure about why. You would say, or why you would phrase it like that. So, but based on pictures, I see red hair, so I vote red hair. Yeah, Maria is just my favorite. She's super cute. I really like her. Her personality is always just so happy, and she's a girl boss. Gatekeep, gaslight, girl boss. So, mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the red hairiest of them all? Who knows? Even I couldn't answer that one. So, it's about... Is Abao your Shun? What? For a moment, I thought you were trying to make a joke about, like, abortion. But I don't know. That would be very uncool, Kaimana. Let's see. Oh my gosh. I don't like this hacking minigame. This hacking minigame sucks! Here we go. What should I get? Should I get the drill, or should I get the... We can take this one. Clip it? You just want to clip everything that I say, Kaimana. It's not gonna work like that. It's not gonna work like that at all. Hi, Jester. Why? Immediately, Kaimana is off to treating people poorly. Yet again, she's doing this. Yet again, she's onto this. Oh Oh my gosh, I really could just go on forever about Shinsekai Yori. I'll go through one of my points. One of my points was about Boy A. In one of the flashback scenes that we get to learn about karma, demons, and fiends, oh my gosh, I think that entire sequence of learning why, especially just from some of the snippets that we get to see in the first episode, I think are really well done too. I mean, I know there's not much that happens there, and then you find out eventually or later on that it's like, oh, actually that was one of the first people that turned into a karma demon, and how does that affect, like, the global population with the fact that he's just able to blow up people's heads by thinking about it. So, is Kaimana on something? Well, I think she has to answer that. He's just so obedient. Best jester ever. What? I would love to. Love to what? Be on something? I mean, I'm not too sure about that one, Kaimana. I feel like there's already an impression being given. Give me a raise? You know what, Silent Sight, do you even get paid to be a jester in Kaimana's courts? I'm beginning to think it's not the case, so maybe, give me a ... He wants a raise. He wants to finally be paid, Kaimana. You can't be expecting free labor forever, can you? Even a jester requires his pay. You know? He gets paid by getting attention from me. Uh-oh. Silent Scythe, is that really enough? I'm not too sure. The court sways in the other opinion. Yeah, so the entire arc about the false Minoshiro and the evil, or the Akama one, the devil Minoshiro, is really cool. I love the reveal. I love that entire sequence, actually. I do think one thing, however, about that entire sequence that sucks is Seiko. Or wait, was that her name? Wait, let me double check. Was it episode 3-ish, approximately? I forgot where I wrote down her name. Or his name. Ito. Mamoru. That's it, Mamoru. I do not like Mamoru. I know this might be a lame opinion to have, but Mamoru is just so cowardly all the time. I get why he's there. He's meant to be like a foil for the courage of some of the characters in the party, or a part of the group. But oh my gosh, I do not like Mamoru. He just kind of sucks. Like, Rijin puts him on the levitation disc and is like, hey, can you please check to make sure that there are no queer rats that could kill us? And Mamoru is just like, I'm too scared. Okay, throw someone else up there then. Why is he still sitting up there? Why is he responsible for any of that? I don't know. I think it was a little bit lame, and unfortunately, he's still a part of the group, so I guess we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. I didn't like the ugly monster when he ran away. The ugly monster. Which one are you meaning? Or which ugly monster are you referring to in that case? Are you meaning any of the queer rats? Or are you meaning the blow dogs? Or what in particular, Kaimana? Because otherwise I would like the one who called them yeah, queer rats. Or baka nezumi. Because they're meant to be stupid rats or stupid mice, basically. I think, and the person you're meaning in specifically is Squealer. Squealer, I think you already have, or you already get an impression of him pretty early on. I don't like him. He's very shrewd. Why is the translation queer rats? Because I guess Baka becomes... No. Maybe they didn't want to call them stupid rats or idiot rats all the time. But then again, Baka can be like moron rats. Maybe they could have done like a wordplay. Morats? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they could have done, but yeah. I guess queer in the sense that they're like deviant from the normal. I think it's a bad word. I mean, yes, depending on the context that you're using it for. But queer itself is just meaning deviant. It's just meaning deviant or not usual. In this case, I mean. I'm not meaning any other case. I'm meaning specific to this. The definition that they're using is that it's deviant from normal. So, yeah, true, I'm just used to it in more of a bad way. Yeah, of course. But that's what the translation decided to go with, queer rats. So, Yeah, me neither. Yeah, Squealer, one of the worst characters. I really, 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 really do not like him. But, unfortunately, that's just... he's still alive! He's still alive. And we'll have to see what he gets up to later. But he is by far one of my least liked characters. So rude. Well, it's true. Well, what can I say? So the first couple of episodes, we get a couple of plot points set up. We learn about the world as it is now, approximately a couple of thousands of years into the future, after the collapse of society, after humans had discovered that there are psychic powers that they can harness. In which case, we learn about psychokinesis, and we see some of the schools implementing doctrines and whatnot in order to better control and harness all of these various ESP/Esper abilities. Oh. Oh, okay. What's this? Is he... Oh. What a curious boss. I've never fought this challenger before. But yeah, it's really cool how they do the world building. Again, it's one of those moments that it's like, I really love how Shinsekai Yori has decided to go about revealing the world in such a way where it's the characters also figuring out what's happened in the past, and you learn it through their eyes as they grow up and become older. And, okay, I said that I didn't want to spoil anything, and I won't spoil anything, but I don't know if you guys have noticed some of the... I'm not... No. I'm not spoiling anything that you haven't seen. I mean, I'm not spoiling for instance, for Helios or Pigeon or anyone else that hasn't watched the 6 episodes or the 7 episodes. Because in some of the episodes that we get to see, I don't know if you guys have noticed that there are... there are a couple of things that you can notice in the backgrounds or between some of the transitions to different scenes between characters and so on. I knew he... Who? What are you talking about? I'm now downloading the Mi-Side demo because it's free. Oh, I hope you enjoy it then, Homura. I have to wait 2 whole minutes of ads. Yeah, unfortunately. I can't turn it down anymore. I'm allowed the message too late. Wait, which one? Which character are you talking about? Geez, Brown allowed my message for once. He allows your message more than once? What do you mean, Kaimana? He allows your message plenty of times, especially all the parts where you keep saying that you want people in chat to die for whatever reason. I don't know why you'd say that, by the way, but, you know, that earned you a strike this week, which we'll soon get to. There are otherwise a couple of, like... background things that you can notice in the anime or just in the show that if you don't pay attention, it's pretty easy to lose track of. And actually is one of the things that I'm kind of worried that I'm giving away by listing out bullet points of what happens between certain events, because just paying attention to the order of events can help you figure out some of the mysteries. I think it's one of the coolest parts about Shinsekai Yori. So he never allowed it ever since like 2 weeks ago or something. What? So she gets a strike. No, I'm meaning earlier this week when you got a strike, Kaimana. Not now or anything. I'm just saying that, like, there are instances in the show where there are a couple of background things that happen. I'm not sure if you've picked them out or if they've become obvious by my retelling or a discussion of, like, episodes 1 and 6. But there's also... when are we gonna get punished? Why do you... What? You put that in a really weird way, Kaimana, but yeah, you'll be getting a couple of your strikes dished out or doled out, like, in a bit. Yeah, I know what you meant for strikes, Kaimana. I know what you meant, but the way you phrased it came off a little bit odd. It came off a little bit odd, I gotta be honest. Also, this is one of those games that I'm noticing that is, like, really difficult to have a conversation at the same time while talking. So maybe I begin booting it up in the background. Let's actually do that. I'm gonna open up Rimworld in the background, and we can slowly ease ourselves into that, because then I can get to some of the punishments at the same time. So let's... You know what? I'll finish this run. I probably won't survive much longer. And you know what? We'll just rush to the boss. As for a couple of other ones, a couple of the other episodes, I think the part or the episodes with Rijin, where they discover the group after talking with the Minoshiro was also really cool. Probably one of my favorites just because of how cool I think he is. The ads are done. Welcome back! Welcome back, Homura. Yeah, I was just saying I hope you enjoyed the demo then in that case. Also, that I can't do much about the ads because if I decide to decrease the length of them, for whatever reason Twitch decides, oh, you want to decrease the length of them? Well, then I'm going to have to run ads every single time someone reloads your stream. And that's kind of lame, I gotta be honest. So I didn't want that to happen, in which case I decided I won't do that. But yeah, I get that otherwise. Oh, there's some, like, sparkly rock here. Let's see. One of my... Oh, yes, I was talking about Rijin and everything. Because they need the money... What? Oh, true, yeah, that's what you mean. They need it, yeah. You would imagine that I would have gotten more, but I only get a couple cents. I get, like, maybe 2 cents for every minute of ads that you watch. Maybe. It's barely anything. Also, welcome, D6. How are you? How are you doing? How's your weekend been so far? And, question, were you able to watch Shinsekai Yori as a part of the AniManga Club? Or have you not gone into it yet? Or are you not part of it? Chess maxing? Have you been playing a lot of chess then? Also, I think because of you sent... Well, I'm not sure exactly if it was because of you. But as of late, my entire TikTok feed has been full of just, like, various walruses whistling and a bunch of seals going... Like, anytime, whenever... whenever one of the... Zookeepers, that's it. Whenever one of the zookeepers decides to, like, tease them a little bit. So, why is YouTube recommending me my own YouTube shorts? I could not say. I could not. I've actually had that happen a couple of times as well. I've accidentally liked, or well, I've liked one of my videos, maybe not accidentally, and then now it just recommends my videos, and I'm like, well, I don't want to skew the statistics, so I don't know what I'm meant to do. Do I swipe away immediately and lower engagement, or do I continue watching my own shorts and like it so that I can increase engagement, you know? No way, bro. What do you mean, no way, bro? What's wrong with Shinsekai Yori, D6? Don't worry, it's not sad so far. What? Why are you replying to yourself with that one, Kaimana? I saw this one walrus video playing a harmonica and then flapping its mouth at the end. It was really funny. What a Chad. Yeah, exactly. Some of them are just so silly. I really like walruses. They're cute. Yeah, played some online and with my grandpa. You mean chess? You mean chess? No, I replied to D6. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Wait, no. On my screen, it said, or maybe it's this integration that I'm using. It says, Kaimana, what do you mean? Don't worry, it's not sad so far. It says that you're replying to yourself somehow, I guess, on my integration. I don't know how that works. I'm sending in the memes. Yeah, I think I know exactly which one you're talking about, Mr. Brown. So, yeah, no, I've seen that one. Also, I never... the back flippers of a walrus, they kind of look like old people feet. I don't know. They kind of look like old people feet, don't they? So, no way, bro. Oh, okay, yeah, no. For whatever reason, my integration didn't, it didn't show that you were replying to that one for whatever reason, Kaimana. Oh, okay. Yeah, Kaimana replied to herself because chat moved when she clicked. Okay, so it wasn't me seeing things. It was actually Kaimana. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I knew I was right. I knew that I couldn't be wrong. There's no way. There's no way. Yeah, it looks sus when I saw it for a split second. Just old man feet you're watching videos of. Mr. Brown, not again. Not again, Mr. Brown. Come on. Happens to me. Oh, yeah, happens to me too from time to time. Yeah, you were responding to that. Be a walrus or a seal? I think I would pick a seal. Being a seal sounds way more fun. But also because I don't want to look like a walrus. I'm not sure I would enjoy my life as a walrus. Which one has a better quality? What do you mean again? What can I say? I just know what you're like, Mr. Brown. That's all I gotta say. I know that you probably came across it for a particular reason. Who knows? Also, boss, fish. I don't think I've fought a fish boss before. Some of the bosses in this are really cool. No, you don't? Yeah, I do. I've got clairvoyance. I've got precognition. That's some of my spells. Those are some of my spells. I know exactly. I'd like to be a turtle, specifically like the one from Finding Nemo. Oh, yeah, the surfer dude one. I can kind of see that. I can kind of see that. He's pretty cool. However, being a dolphin... Actually, no. I would love to be an octopus. An octopus would be really cool. I think octopi are awesome. They're so cute. They're also just, like, really rad, and they can use a whole bunch of tools and everything, so I'm not 100% sure if that's the case. I'll use that transcript and search for all Aug sus moments on stream. It is actually... Well, actually, it is possible for me, but I don't know if it's possible for you guys to search through transcripts. Like, I have a local API via the YouTube Studio setup and whatnot, where I can just query through and search through basically all my transcripts on streams and whatnot. But that depends entirely if I can... Well, yeah, that depends entirely on how many videos I have to go through and if it's properly recorded what it is I've said. Have you seen Toilet-Bound Hanako-kun? No, I've not seen that one. I think I have been recommended it before? Maybe. I think I've seen, like, glimpses of it before. But I've had one person that I know who really likes it. And they told me, yeah, you should watch it if it piques your curiosity. And then I think I added it to my backlog and then, like, never really got around to it. So, ooh, who knows? Who knows when I'll eventually get to it. Peek. Okay, Kaimana. I was gonna say dolphins are the biggest bumheads, so... I mean, yeah, it's just that they're very evil at times. So they do whatever they want. Also, hello, Solstix! Welcome! Welcome, how are you doing? How are you doing? You should watch it? Okay, I'll add it to my back... Or at least I'll bump it up on my backlog so that I don't completely lose it there. I'm still, of course, because of the AniManga Club, I'm still, of course, watching through or rewatching Shinsekai Yori, so that's its own dealio. Oh man, why can't I just, like, not take one of these weapons and decide to discard it, you know? They just disappear. So, wanting to be a dolphin is giga questionable? Maybe. I just like, I think it would be cool to swim that fast, but also being an octopus, I think seems really cool as well. So, Aug only ever just adds stuff to his backlog and then never watches them and ignores your messages when you ask. What? It's a lost cause? No, I don't ignore your messages. It's just very difficult to read and play everything at the exact same time and also not be terrible at anything that I play, you know? I asked today... You asked me today what? And you haven't answered? Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't read every single message, man. It's difficult when everyone has conversation at the same time. About Amagami? No, I haven't watched it yet, if that's what you asked. If I've even gotten around to it, no, I haven't. I prioritize everything that's related to my stream stuff first. So, if anything, that's what I'm doing. So, I'll, like, let you know if I eventually or ever get around to it, but yes. Or he pushes it back when you say it for him to watch something. That's also true, actually. The more times I'm asked to watch something or to do something and I begin to feel a little bit annoyed by it, I push it further and further away into my backlog. So, I don't actually want to sometimes be told what I should and should not watch. So I'm just like, oh, well, further into my backlog it goes. I'll be reminded once, but more than once... It gets pushed further and further away. Exhibit A and Exhibit B. Well, what can I say? I'm just a man of particular tastes. A man of particular interests. A wizard of particular interests and tastes. And also, because I have so much that I already do. There's only so much that I can get through first and foremost, right? So, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure whenever I'll get to it. You are no man, you're a wizard. I mean, yes... That's true. That's true that I am a wizard. But at the same time, like, I know what I am. I'm both. I can be both. You've transcended humanity? I would hope. Well, yeah, that's why you're my apprentices. That's why. Wizardlet? Why would I be a wizardlet? What does that mean? What's the implication here? I think, if anything, I've done you guys a huge favor for recommending Shinsekai Yori. It's crazy good. You should be saying, oh... Thank you, Auger. Thank you so much that you recommended one of these peak shows. And I've been like, yeah, that's right. I recommended it to you because I know what's good for you. Yo, new guy, you'd be wise to watch this anime or else, you know? Bal just trying to see. Why would you try to see? I like Oshinoko so much. I've seen all 3 seasons like 7 to 10 times in a year. Oh my goodness. Jeez, is it really that good? I mean, I know some friends who enjoyed it, but I don't think I've ever known anyone that enjoyed it that much. I think even for me, maybe like to a certain extent, right? That's when it comes to Shinsekai Yori, I tend to wait at least a couple of years so that I don't remember everything about it. That's why I've been able to go back to it like maybe once every 2 years-ish. So I thoroughly enjoy it to that extent, but I don't think I'd be able to watch it that many times in just a singular year. I've been reading Notes from Underground by Dostovsky? I might be incredibly incorrect in the pronunciation of that name. I might be incredibly incorrect. Is it like tradition? No, not really like tradition. It's more like, I think to myself, oh wow, gosh, wasn't this such a crazy good anime? And then I'm like, okay, you know what? It's so good, I might have to rewatch it. And then I begin watching the first episode, and I'm like, I forgot how insanely good this anime was. And then I keep going back to it, and that's like the thought process that I have. So it's really easy for me to binge it in that case. Dostoevsky. Okay. I would not know how to have pronounced that otherwise. Well, I watched it myself like 6 to 8 times when I... Did you say 6 to 8 because you didn't want to say 6, 7? Okay. Well, I watched it myself like 6 to 8 times. Then I watched it once with my mom and once with my friends. Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. No? I'm just making sure. I'm just making sure. Were you trying to avoid it or are you playing coy? So, let's see. I've not really gone through all of my notes and everything, but I hope you guys do enjoy from the New World Shinsekai Yori. It is by far one of my favorites. There are so many different cool things that I think are just such a wonderful treat, a wonderful highlight to watch through. I mean, just the whole action scenes, all of the scientific, like the science stuff behind even some of the fantastical elements, the discussion of their fears and thoughts and whatnot causing rapid evolution in the environments around them, the discussion of fiends and karma beasts and everything like that, all just really, really cool. And some of like, I don't want to call it political intrigue because I wouldn't really say that it's political intrigue, but when you've got like Kiromaru and Squealer and all of these different characters interacting with each other, as well as like the human academic council, there are just so many different there are so many different antagonists that like play a factor or a role in most of the story and whatnot. So I feel like there are a whole lot of plot lines to follow, and that's why I was saying previously, or prior to this, when I was talking about Shinsekai Yori, that some of the moments that you see in the background, or for like only a glimpse, give you so much of an insight. Like some of the random sentences that I've written down, but I probably won't say because it might give it away now if you want to try solve some of the mysteries for yourself. Give you a little bit of an insight as well as some of the solutions, I guess, to some of the mysteries. Like, for instance... there is a scene where they talk about one of the... Okay. I'm not going to be specific. I'm not going to try and spoil this. If you want to try solve some of the mysteries yourself, I will do this like nearly all the way through the end or at the end once we finish the entire series. But there is a scene where one character or a name is shown on screen, but then that character has a bit of an arc. I don't want to spoil anything, but there are some instances like that, and it is really cool once you notice them. Once you notice them, it's hard to forget or to not notice it. Who? I'm not going to tell you. This is... I just said I want you guys to try to figure it out. I will reveal some of the mysteries at the end because I've watched it so many times, and some of the details that I've noticed, but I'm not going to spoil any of the characters or their arcs, and so no, not Noah's arc. That's funny though. That's funny. Nice one, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm meaning just in general that there are some characters who have their name flash on screen as an example, but there are different instances of it, or some stories and flashbacks that have inaccurate retellings. Or there are some background scenes that you can notice these things in the background while they're happening on screen and just be like, oh, wait, I just noticed that. That's why they're doing this. But also, sometimes it's not spoon-fed to you, some of the implications. Like, and I can give an easy example of this. Whenever Saki was talking to Satoru when they were captured in the cage, she then began to think of one of the concepts of bonobo apes and communities and whatnot, and what the Minoshiro told her. I was gonna say taught, but then told at the same time, and I came with taught her. What the Minoshiro told her, and in addition, there's also a part where in the caves, once they're captured, or once they're running away from the poison gas, Satoru pokes at the ceiling with his spear that he stole from one of the Quirat soldiers, and pokes the edges of the cave and goes, ew, yuck, and there's this sticky slime on it. The implication, well, maybe it's not so obvious, it's not so much of a mystery, but one of the implications being that somehow the earth in that area has transformed into a living being. Very obviously, when you poke a wall with a spear, usually the rocks would fall out, or rocks would crumble, maybe, right? I mean, they're underground. He's poking the wall with a spear. However, when he poked it, both blood began to spill out, and there was this sticky, membrane that was on the tip of the spear. That's actually a part of the insides of a giant living organism. It's not much of a mystery, but it's meant to be further proof that the world is warping around them as they see it. It's like that one creepypasta. I'm not sure which one you mean. But let's move on, because I think we're all here now. We've got Solsticks, we've got Kaimana, we've got... Wait, let me check who else is on the list for strikes. We've got Helios. I really need to begin writing down what your punishments are. Or, sorry, what your transgressions were. Some cave that was actually alive? Yeah, I don't think I remember that one whatsoever. I've got Helios, I've got Okami, I've got Solsticks. This guy isn't here. Why do I have a strike? I don't know. Apparently it's from this week or last week, but I didn't write the reason for it. I think it might have been when you... Wait, let me try recall. It might have been when you were making Rondel jokes. Maybe then. I've got one for Okami. I've got one for Solsticks. I've got... Because he wanted to take the strike for someone. Then I've got one for Kaimana. And then I've got one for Disco. Also, let me swap over the category on Twitch over to Rimworld. So, Rimworld. And we'll do it like so. I thought Kaimana had 5. Well, I mean, you wouldn't be fully wrong. It's, well, let's just say my DMs were a little bit full around the time when I said that she was getting another strike. Right now, I'm imagining your avatar is fat. Don't confuse me with Rondel, okay? D6 wanting in on the action. Yeah, he wants to get a strike as well, I think. D6, is that what you're gunning for? Is that what you're going for? You were excited, weren't you? For you to have 5 strikes? I'm not too sure. Let me switch on over. Sorry, I'm just finding where one of the tabs is. Oh, by the way, just to reveal the truth, D6 was right. D6 was right about what? I'm going to use all my toys in the Battle Royale. We're not doing a Battle Royale. I was LARPing as D6 on Friday. Oh, okay. I see. Fair enough. That's very silly of you. I would not have expected you to do it, Helios. So you tricked me there. I'm like L, bro. I suppose you are in this case. Well, at least you didn't say Kita. So yeah, I guess it works out. What am I doing? Oh, right, that's right. I'm finding one of my tabs. I'm finding a tab so I can do this. Wait. We're gonna do this. So, the first one, so is it chopping, I was gonna say chopping block, but when you said battle royale, no, it is not a battle royale. It's not a battle royale. We're doing something a little bit different. And now for something a little bit different. Let me find, do I have a browser page thingamabob? I don't think I do. Okay, let's add a new source. Let's add a new source, and source browser. And then we're gonna call this one punishments. Or we'll call it strikes, whatever. It doesn't really matter. We're gonna do that. So, okay. And then I also need to crop this. Yeah, I need to crop this a little bit so that we can see things more clearly now that the rain is gone. A shame. I would have been safe in that case. Are you sure? You would have been safe? How so? Your husband would have like 5 strikes in that case, stealing identities. I don't think he would have gotten a strike just for stealing identities. It was a little bit silly, but that's about it. And Kaimana gets another strike for calling me dummy. Well, you're right about that one. Kaimana, I think we can add another strike. Rim husband deserves those strikes for having a sleep buddy. Wow. Wow, he's not allowed to live his life. Is that what I'm hearing? Oh my goodness, I can't believe Kaimana. I cannot believe it. Also, why is this chroma keyed out? I don't think I had a chroma key, but somehow this is transparent. Can I add a background to this? I'm confused. How does this work as transparent? Maybe what I need to do is I will go into my control panel for it and then change it like so. It's not. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay, cool. So I can make it transparent. That's pretty cool, actually. Okay, I didn't know that my transparent background color settings for CSS would have worked like that. That's pretty cool. Okay, otherwise, you will see on screen in just a second that we have got the board. Wait, I'm trying to find a spot. I'm sorry, Home of the Hog. You've gotta get off here right now. You've gotta get off here. We're gonna have the board. Oh, it's not selecting it. Where'd it go? What? Did it delete it now? I just set it up. And now it's gone. Oh, here we go. Let's do like so. What? Now it's gone? Now it's here? Now it's gone? What? Why is it invisible? Okay, thanks OBS. I'll remake it then. Sorry about that. Is Home of the Hog still looking for her friends? Yeah. Well, she's going back home for her tea party, okay? That's what she's doing. Make her pawn a homunculus? Yeah, could do. The game takes like 10 minutes to boot up. I'll keep trying. Yeah, but we have to do the punishments and everything first. I'm not gonna boot up the game until all of that is set up. Thank you, Kaimana. You're very smart. Yeah. Strikes. Board. I'll win with the power of hope. Are you sure? Are you sure? Why is this invisible? I'm so confused. OBS just isn't rendering it anymore. Why? Oh, in fact, everything is gone? No. Home of the Hog is still here. What? Okay, I'm very confused. I guess I'm gonna swap to this then instead. Okay, we'll swap to a completely black screen because for whatever reason OBS is deciding that for its layered sources it's not wanting to do that. Oh, here we go. I put that on the wrong one accidentally. Main screen, idle screen. Oh, now it's working. I swapped scene and now it's working. I'm so confused. I'm legitimately so confused. Now it's working. Okay, let's swap. Let me add the filter. Sorry this is taking so long. This should have really not taken this long, but for whatever reason, OBS does not want to cooperate. So let's do it like that. The first person. No, bye, Home of the Hog. Yeah, she's going soon. She's going. The first person to have their strikes decided upon shall be Helios. However, we're doing this a little bit different. Editor, aka Automaton, prepare the board. Beep, 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 beep. The board. Okay? we've got punishments set up now. We've got punishments set up. However, I'm willing to take your punishments as well. So, the way this works, I started learning how to draw too. I want to draw you like a fat little chud. That's, okay, D6, do you really want to get another strike? Do you want a strike? Do you want to be here? My name isn't punishment enough already? No. The way we're doing, I mean, it's like 2 months. I mean, yes, but like, no. Yes, but like, no. I haven't punished you, okay? That's the difference here, apprentice. This is the difference. So, the way that this is going to work is that you guys, see, Auger, you inspire people to pick up hobbies. I mean, I guess so. I guess I'm glad you guys are doing something productive in in any case. The way this is going to work, you guys can suggest a couple of punishments. I will add this to the board. The board, as you can see, has 3 different categories. You can decide which category, because Helios is going to pick what punishments he wants. He's going to pick what punishment he wants. However, he does not know what is underneath each card. And I was contemplating a little bit, should I do this as, 1 strike would mean picking 1 card, 2 strikes means picking 2 cards, but I think we'll circumvent that for now. I have a separate board for the severity of punishments, so there is a chance that you could accrue 2 strikes within a week and therefore be put on a more harsh board. Do a magic trick? Sure. Wait. No, it's not working on this one. Wait. Okay, I'll do it once I'm in Rimworld. I'll do my magic trick once I'm in Rimworld because I've got the scene set up differently for this. Kaimana, it's not here yet. I need to draw a Homeda Hog sometime. You should. I would have Homeda Hog art. So yes, you guys can suggest... This is for Helios, by the way. We're going to start with Helios, and I'll add, like, screen text 2 or something. I'm just trying to... I know you're trying to, but why? To add it on auto? What? To add on auto? Screen text 2. Name is already in... Apparently, I'm already using that. I don't know how, but apparently I am. Where is it in that case? Screen text 2. Okay, here we go. Then we can add that there. Screen text 2. I will move up here, and then we're going to say that this is for Helios. It's not Jackbox TV anymore. I have to change this text. Helios. And then I will edit the background as well. I have to go. Take care, Homeda-san. Take care. Hope to see you tomorrow for tomorrow's stream. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay. Here we go. So, we've got Helios's punishments right now. You guys can, of course, submit some punishments as well. Have you seen the resurgence of the Angry Bird movie through memes? No, I haven't. Helios, do you want to pick your punishment now? I'm wondering, does anyone have any punishments they'd like to suggest for Helios right now? Any punishments for his first strike? Anything at all? I've written down a couple of them, so everything here on one of these tiles has a punishment. Make him round and fat. That doesn't seem like a 1-strike punishment. Round and fat? That seems a little bit harsh, since he wants to be called Rotundel. Fat-bodied? I'm not sure these are, Uh-oh, I think I got lost and entered the wrong chat. Hi, Disco, on YouTube. Yeah, I think you are in the wrong one. Fat-bodied as a single strike punishment? Come on, guys, don't be like that. A fat body gene? That seems pretty mean. Also, welcome. You gonna join on Twitch, maybe? Hi, Rim Husband, or should I say Rimband? Rimband? That's a weird nickname. Otherwise, if you guys don't have any proper 1-strike suggestions, Helios, feel free to pick a tile. I'll wait on you. I'll wait on you to pick a tile. A2? Okay, he's picked A2. Wait, I just need a double check. Let me refresh this. I want to make sure that everything is actually working. give me a second. I want to make sure this is working. Hopefully I can just click refresh cache. Okay. There we go. A2. A2 is timed out for 5 minutes. I'm so sorry. Your first strike is timed out for 5 minutes, which I guess is going to be just for the strikes. I'll see you soon, Helios. Mr. Brown, time him out for 5 minutes. There we go. Unless he's not here. I don't know. Is Mr. Brown here? And where is he? Can I... Oh, wait. Do I have my moderation? Okay. I'm here. Okay. Cool. Yes. Now, we've done Helios's. Who do I time out? Helios. Rondel for 5 minutes. Okay. Helios, that's your strike. Gone. Now, we move on to... Oh, well. Is Okami here? Does he want to strike? Okay, we'll move to Solstice in the meanwhile. So I'll change the title of this to Solstice. There we go. Solstice. Anyone have any punishment suggestions for Solstice in any way? Anything at all? Wait seconds. You put him for 5? Why did you put him for 5? Silly. Illegally small frame. Okay, that's not a 1-strike punishment to change someone's size permanently. It deletes his messages. Yeah, but it's fine. They show up on stream either way. I thought it would take minutes, not seconds. No, it doesn't. I only needed 5 minutes anyway. It's just 300 seconds. Wait, Father Sol has a strike? Yeah, he took on the strike of someone else. Because he was wanting to be self-sacrificing. So, Solstice, we'll give everyone a second or two to think of any 1-strike punishment-deserving things. What's this? Another clip. Why I have a strike? I thought you took on. See, I did mention this earlier, but I need to begin writing down the reason. I just think... At least the most likely explanation I can give is that you probably took on the strike of someone else, and that's why you have one. Otherwise, maybe it's because of something blue flavor related. Possibly. Either way, yeah, it's because of the clip. Okay, yeah, fair. You just made it up? No. I didn't make any of these up. I have at some points, again, I will begin taking notes of when I doled out these strikes. I have, and I know because I wrote these down because they're before any one of my Shinsekai Yori notes that you have a strike. So, okay, if no one's got any suggestions, Solstice, please pick a tile. Pick any tile. And just so you know, it's different. So I have shuffled things around. So even though that one was revealed for Helios, there are now different ones on the board, which is why you see that it's currently undone. A3 paper. Okay. A3 paper is going to be write like a pirate for 15 minutes. So if you break that, I will time you out for 15 minutes. Otherwise, you must write from now on or pretend to be a pirate for 15 minutes. Thank you. Wonderful. I'm glad we could resolve your 1 strike in such a way. Let's see who's next on the list. Kaimana, it's you. Aye, Captain Auger. Kaimana, you're next on the list. Arg. Yeah, exactly. Yes, scallywag. Let's see. Do we have any recommended punishments for Kaimana? Anything at all? Rifle? What? Rifle? What do you mean? Rifle? And rabbit frame. These are not 1-strike punishments. She told me to call Rife. Oh, I was reading that as rifle. Rimbund. Yeah, I guess so. There we go. Kaimana 1 strike. She has like 12. We're counting 1 strike in this case, okay? She really wanted to refute me on every single strike that I had taken throughout the week. So we're going to start with just a singular strike. This one, shiver me timbers. Yeah, thank you. Nice boat, R. Well, okay, if we got no suggestions for Kaimana's punishment, Kaimana, please, pick a tile. Any tile. What's the mixed category? The mixed category is, either like actions or MS Paint stuff, and chat is anything that you have to do in chat, and Rimworld is obviously things that affect you in Rimworld. No, mixed. Okay, mixed what? Yeah, but then you have to pick a tile, Kaimana. B2. Okay, B2 it is then. All your messages are getting read in a dumb voice for the next 10 minutes. So now, anytime I read your message, you're gonna sound like a complete buffoon. A complete buffoon. Okay? That's all it's gonna be. See? Some of them aren't too bad. Fine, go ahead. Yeah, sure. Whatever you say, Kaimana. Jeez. Okay, we've got the next one. We've got the next one, which is going to be... yeah, see, Kaimana, your laugh is something only a mother could love. We've got disco. We've got disco. No, I had one, not two? What do you mean, no, you... No, I had one, not two. What do you mean? Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? SpongeBobius SquarePantius. Is it the end of the Friday stream? No, not yet. Not yet. We've got disco. You are going to have a strike doled out as well. For what then? Wait, why? Again, I'm telling you, I need to write this down. For right now, I've only ever taken a single strike. You sound like Ed from Ed, Edd and Eddy. Man, what am I supposed to do? Okay, I forgot to write down notes for all of these, but I will in the future. I will in the future. Okay, I can assure you. However, do we have any punishment suggestions for disco? Any punishment suggestions for disco? Welcome back, Helios. Okay, what's yours? But I miss Kaimana's punishment. I'm reading everything she says in a dumb voice. Divorce Kaimana. That would be crazy. Sure, I'm not choosing Rimworld. None of you are choosing Rimworld. Why not? Why not? My matey be back. True. Honestly, I'm so glad that you're going along with it. Then again, I would have timed you out for 15 minutes proportional to how long. That's way more than what one strike deserves, Kaimana. Come on. Come on. That's way too much. Not being able to give her one is more of a punishment than the timeouts. Yeah, I could see, I can kind of see why. Maybe I should have just given her the 2 strikes either way. You know what I'm saying? What about a day? No! These are all really evil. Why do you want him to refer... How about that? Not that. That's one behalf, man. That's a 10-strike punishment? Yeah, I would never do something like that to one of my apprentices. Don't worry, Disco, you're safe and sound here. You're safe and sound. You don't have to worry about Kaimana having so much control and power. What about a stream? I don't know. Everyone else's is for like a couple of minutes. I'm not gonna do that for the entire time, you know? Cruel and unusual punishment. Exactly, right? Mayhaps. Indeedly doodly. Okay, well, if we've got nothing, how about 60 minutes? That's still half a stream. We've got discos. So, which one are you picking, Disco? No one seems to have any suggestions for you, and I have just shuffled everything around. So please feel free to pick a tile. Make them a polycube. Oh my gosh. I think I could. Okay, I choose A. And to make it interesting, chat, vote which A. Oh, where be the booty? A1, we've got 1 for A1. We've got 1 for 3. Anything else? Going once. A2. Oh, we've got 2 on A3. Yar. A2 be the best. Kaimana, you can't just vote for the same one again and count it as 2 votes. That's not how it works. Okay? Not how it works whatsoever. Okay. Wait, no, now we've got 2 for A2 and 2 for A3. Kaimana, you're gonna have to be the tiebreaker here. That constitutes another strike. She's trying to rig the polls. Okay, we'll do A2. Your A2 strike punishment is... Oh, timed out for 5 minutes. Unfortunate. I thought it was going to be something else, but yeah. I guess not. Kaimana, What are you doing here? What do you do? What? Shiver me timbers. No. Winspoon. Okay. Well, feel free to suggest a wait, Mr. Brown, what? Oh, no, that's Disco! Wait, Mr. Brown, no, it was Disco! That was going to be timed out, not Kaimana! just actually shot her dead. My wife! Poor Kaimana, she's just gone now. Wait, what's happened to her? Bring her back. Yeah, he removed the timeout. He removed the timeout on her. That girl be catching them strays. True. Goodness me. Goodness me. They wanted to go out together. Yeah, she was like, no, husband. Oh, anyways, I guess it's over. I guess it's over now. However, that is the end of the strikes, so we can die, Brown. Kamana, do you want another strike? Kamana, are you wanting another strike? What is this? I'm playing Pal World right now. I didn't hear it was Disco. Okay, well, I want you to do one thing for me. I want you to check what the big text on screen is right now. What's the big text on screen? Wait, where'd my game go? What? Oh, did I change the resolution of Rimworld by accident? Okay, let's do that. I'm just booting up the game now. It's fully loaded and everything. I just need to log or load into the game. Lag and load. True. Rafe, I'm calling from the afterlife. He's on YouTube chat. He's cheating. He's cheating on YouTube chat. Disco, that's evil. Well, I guess he can't type or anything like that. I was way too excited about timing out Kaimana. I know, right? You were really looking forward to that one. I mean, I don't blame you, but like, that was pretty funny. Well, feel free to suggest some one-strike punishments and whatnot, but now we're in the game. We're in the game, see? We're in the game. So let's see how that goes. Dumb. What's twin? I'm fast. Yeah, sure. Maybe a little bit undercooked at the same time. Let's see. Void Hunger. What a hardcore name. Oh! One of the Yorkshire Terriers is dead because of a wild panther coming through. Let's see. We have got... Yeah, sure. Whatever. We are Were we researching... Yeah, flak armor. Or recon armor. Oh, nice. And we just researched tox gas. You owe me money, remember? That's true. Aug, I have a point. You're also... downed for whatever reason. Is it because of the mechanites? Yeah, I think the mechanites are putting you in so much pain. Okay. You do have a point. No, I don't. I already paid. I'm pretty sure you didn't. Vouch for me too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you haven't paid them back. What mechanites? It's a condition. Remember one of the chat events was sensory mechanites. When? Like 2 streams ago, 2 Rimworld streams ago, you had borrowed money. So, of course D6 is right. See? And yeah, I know you have a point, but we're waiting to be able to reverse time, Kaimana. So, no getting ahead of yourself. Let's see. Visitors? Oh my gosh. Are they at least going to pay for our hotel this time, or are they just going to, you know, pass by and not do that? It's always a little bit frustrating how they just decide to always pick rooms that don't cost money, you know? Cat girl? Well, I'm not sure. Did we have anything in particular that we were waiting on for right now? Let's see. I'll give it later. I don't know if I trust Kaimana saying I'll pay you back later. That seems extremely unlikely. What's the likelihood that Kaimana is going to pay someone back? Visitors? Yes, visitors. We got some visitors. Kaimana just in the chat right now. Whoa! What are these shooting at? What were all those guns coming off for? Look up York. Are you looking for more Yorkshire Terriers? Is that what you're checking out for, D6? Why would he be doing that, I wonder? We also need to make some of Metalhead. Yeah, we need to make some of the battery charging stations. That's what I wanted to do. Do we have the Mechanitor stuff? Yep, we've got the bird post now. Cool. Recharge. There we go, mech recharger. And then we can add that here. And then they'll walk in here. Swap item image. Change the Yorkshire to this. All right, I'm curious what this is. I'm gonna open this up first. Okay. Okay. Wait. Let me find it. Which do you have one in mind? Because I can only do it to one. Did you just want a random one in that case? Let's see. Let's take a boy. Let's take this one. The one that I sent. Yeah, no, but did you have a particular Yorkshire Terrier in mind that you wanted to do this to? He wants it to be a Schmaloogle. All of them. You can only pick one, because I can only customize one at a time. Otherwise, there would be way too many Schmaloogles running. Actually, I wonder if I can open editor, maybe? No, that's not it. Upload portraits. Okay. Wait. I'm gonna quickly do this so that you don't see anything. I'm going to see if there's a way to quickly do this. No. Okay. Wait. Why would they do this? Why can I not just type in the path? Why do I have to manually click every single button? Stop it! I'm back! Yeah, you're back. Welcome back. I need to find, let's see. So I go to my C drive. Then I go to, I guess, users, Auger, downloads. Okay. I go to, actually, you know what? I'm just gonna pull this into my editor drive. I'm just gonna pull this into my editor drive, and then you don't have to see that. There we go. Let's see. Rimworld assets. Also, Solstice, your punishment is done. You're done now. You don't have to do this still. Let's see. Rimworld assets. Wait, what? Oh no, I clicked on the wrong one. There we go. Rimworld. Oh, it has to be a PNG. You sent me a WebP. Wait, let me. Okay, actually, I can go back to this while I. Hopefully, this should be fine. Yeah, it doesn't show anything. I don't think. Let's see. Upload portrait. D. Yeah. Okay, okay. So here we go. I need to find a PNG version of this then. You two should argue more. That's a little bit evil. Schmaloogle PNG. Gosh, I hate WebP. I hate WebP so much as a file format. It sucks so badly. It sucks so badly. Okay, this one has to be a PNG, right? Surely? It's not. Why is it not? Why is it not a PNG? I hate this. Maybe okay, I'll open it up in my image editor program, and then I'm going to save this as a PNG. I'll convert it myself then. Fine. Here we go. Schmaloogle. Saved. Closed. Mama. Mama. And then we go into Rimworld asset. There we go! Nice! Oh, wait. What? Oh, it didn't save it for some reason. Rimworld assets, Schmaloogle. And then save. Here we go. Oh wait, that's just its portrait. I thought I was gonna change this. Upload portrait. Which one? It's meant to be this one, right? Is its portrait just gonna be the Schmaloogle? No, come on. I thought it was gonna let me change its other stuff about it. Display in colonist bar? No. Wait, world maybe? Create new world, save, map, reset? How do I... Okay. I'm wondering if I can... Can I change the asset? Its icon maybe for the new ones? I'm not sure. I thought this was just gonna work, but now I've just got a Schmaloogle on my screen. Yeah, I guess I thought it was gonna replace his asset. Okay, if I tried it on something like this, right? Then I would upload an image and then I would do Rimworld assets, and then do a Schmaloogle, right? It didn't change it. I guess because I didn't save. Okay, so if I upload an image, I go back to here, Rimworld assets, Schmaloogle, save. Okay, we can have a Schmaloogle sandstone chunk. Do you want something in particular? do you want to change it to an item more? You have to pick one thing. You have to pick one thing. You can change a statue if you want into a Schmaloogle. Just tell me what you want me to change it. Can you not do moving entities? It changes the portrait, so I can change one of the ones at top, but I cannot change, I guess, the character icons. I suppose, like this, for instance, because I guess it has to be 4 directions that I have to get a shot for. The big statue. This one, then? I can do that. Here we go. Customize. Upload an image. Rimworld assets, Schmaloogle generic. There we go. Save. Now we've got a really big Schmaloogle. Can't I shrink him? Can't I shrink him a little bit? Why? Okay. He's so big. We can rotate him as well. An absolute masterpiece. I think I've just screwed this up now. Enable coloring? Yeah, sure. We can enable coloring variations. I don't know. He's just really big now. I think he needs to be taller though. But then he would block stuff. I don't know. Farm animals wander in? What? A group of donkeys? Kaimana, you've... Wait. Oh no, Kaimana predicted that there would be donkeys. He's the silent guardian. He's a masterpiece. Limestone grand sculpture. Masterwork. True. He's a masterpiece. We've now got a really big Schmaloogle in here. So that works. I guess, yeah, if you want to pick items, then feel free to. But otherwise, portraits, they don't really work, it looks like. I can only add the image to the portrait, but it doesn't really show up. So yeah, feel free to just change items then into something of your choice using points. That should work, I think. That should work A-okay, if so. Well. Oh. I think... Okay, here we go. Yeah, nobles in the crosshairs. Arcadius Xian, an acolyte of the Shattered Empire, wants to stay at the Pumpkin Patch for 16 days with 6 core allies. Arcadius and his allies have been targeted for death and need a safe place to stay until they can purge their court. However, Arcadius's enemies have hired Bug to hunt them. That is a lot. That is a lot. You need to keep the mood of the Imperials above 30%. Okay. Oh, we do get an orbital beam targeter. Actually, how expensive is this? It's not even that much. But somehow this is worth 25,000 gold? I'm actually... or silver. That's really surprising, actually. I didn't think an orbital beam targeter would cost... or would be that valuable in terms of silver? I guess because you can't make it and you can only find it. But it only being 1,200 silver for you guys to buy and it does all that? I don't know, it's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Beacon unusable, yeah, that makes sense. Colonist needs names. No, we're not going to do that. Kaimana's still passed out in here. Also, this person, I don't know who this is. Jerariel Morning Sun? Okay. Jerariel, what do they want to talk to us about? What's this question mark above their head? Oh, we'll never do social. Maybe we can try... Oh, wait, Kaimana's knocked out. Let's try Helios. Trade with? Oh, you can trade with them, but they probably don't have anything since they didn't have any caravans or cargo with them. So that probably does not matter. Do you guys... Oh, wait. I was going to say, do you guys want to do a little bit of exploration or trading? But I guess we don't have any quests at the time being. Look, we've got 4 dryads now. Solstix has been taking care of this so well. Apparently it says we have 3 out of 3, but that doesn't sound right. Local harmony affected by hidden conduit, limestone wall, geothermal generator. Why is this even possible? I would love to move this, I think. Maybe we move this, like, here? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's a little... I thought this would be a good spot for it, but... I don't know. It's kind of getting in the way of things, I suppose. Also, for whatever reason, this isn't connected to this, which means that we don't get maximum nearby shrines. Are we doing a quest? I was wanting to, but it doesn't look like we have any quests that we can take. I can randomly generate one, and then we can see what we get for that if you guys would like to. Actually, I'll do that right now. Generate some kind of quest of some kind. Generate quest. There we go. Natural random. Let's do that. Generate a quest. Quest available. Zephos' cold snap. We probably do not care for having a cold snap, do we? Do we not? Oh, actually, it is quite cold outside already, and I don't know about... We'd get a flat screen TV, though. We'd get a field hand. This mechanical hand replacement is made to speed up the sowing and harvesting tasks of a farmer. Multiple telescoping finger-like protrusions can simultaneously harvest from several points on the same plant, or precisely sow several different holes at once. It also has a general-purpose manipulator. It is somewhat ungainly, which slows down movement slightly. Oh, yeah. For Sol? Yeah, exactly. I was thinking the exact same thing. Maybe we can get a little bit of a physical enhancement for Sol in that case. My sword. What do you want to swap your sword to in that case? Did you post it in media? Oh, here you go. You posted a guitar. Yeah. Can you change my pawn model? I can change your portraits, which I think would be at the top here, but I don't think I can change your pawn model. That would require me going into the assets. Okay, I'm gonna save that, and then I need to convert it to a PNG because it's saved as a stupid WebP. I hate WebP files. I hate WebP files so much. So much. Okay, let's do this. Save as. Then I need to go to this PC, go to my asset drive, and then we'll go to Rimworld assets. Save as PNG. Bocce guitar. There we go. Save that. Close. There we go. Here we go. I fell asleep for a second. My dream was scary. Kaimana, how did you fall asleep for a second? Oh my goodness. Are you okay? Are you fine? Which one is your true weapons? Was it about having a true? Show Kaimana my statue. Kaimana, look. Kaimana, look. We've got a really big schmaloogle now on the map. We've got a really big schmaloogle on the map now. Also, I need to... Wait, I think I need to drop this temporarily. So scary? It's not scary. He's just a little schmaloogle. Okay, I'm going to quickly drop the weapon and then I can customize... I told you to drop the weapon. Why did you go back to sleep? There we go. Thank you. Here we go. Upload image. Go to Rimworld Assets. Bocce guitar. Save. There we go. Now you've got the bocce guitar. Force equip monosword. There we go. Look. And then I think it'll show... Yeah, look, now you're playing the guitar. You're playing the guitar while you're drafted now. So when I attack, is it visible? Yes! Yes, it is! Very nice. Very nice. Oh. And yeah, you can change anything. Wait, where do you find these? Where do you find what? You mean the point redeem? I added it recently. It is called Rimworld Swap Item. So you can change the customized appearance of something or someone. Now the pixel arts? Oh, okay. You were meaning that individual one. I imagine you must have searched it. That's so funny. Yeah, you're just gonna be banging them over the head with a guitar. Show's over. No encores. Have we got any of the bulk good trader stuff? Okay, let's get you, Helios, to trade with them. No, my mom told me to get something from the yard and I didn't take my phone and it was dark and snow and covering, and also I was wearing flip-flops and I couldn't remember what I was gonna get, so I couldn't come back, but I knew someone was trying to get me. Oh my goodness. What kind of is it just someone's out to get me? You just have an irrational fear about that as one of your nightmares in that case? Literally bocce guitar pixelated on Google. Yeah. I mean, if it works, it works, right? If it works, it works. Yeah, I knew someone was gonna get me. Gulp. Who was gonna do that? Who was gonna do that? Maybe we should get rid of the chocolate production. Unfortunately, I don't think the chocolate production did anything because I'm not sure how to trigger any of these production things. We've got Gene Pack, cool. Fire, okay, no, that's fine. Pig nose, great ogre frame. Yeah, I want to keep the pig gene. It was Rotundel. It was Aug like the strike. What? No, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I would never. I would never. I want to go back to sleep. It was actually kind of fun too. I hope it's a yandere who loves me. Good night. Okay, Kaimana, good night. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I hope to see you tomorrow for the Yakuza 0 stream. Bye-bye. Yeah, she just, like, passes out, wakes up after having a nightmare. Actually, I kind of like that dream. I'm gonna go to sleep now, just so I can continue it. Okay, Kaimana, sure. Hope everything's okay. Hope everything's okay. I don't know, I kind of miss having sleep paralysis, too. It was fun. Maybe? I can't say for sure. I haven't really had sleep paralysis in a very, very, very long time. I struggle to actually think of when I last had that. So, maybe. I'm yawning, sorry. I'm speaking so much that I'm forgetting to breathe, so it's making things difficult. Doesn't eat is a really good one, but cannot wield weapons? Honestly, I feel like maybe we should get this for you, Solstix. And then you could just throw in a whole bunch of different genes. That would be really cool, actually. You could get doesn't eat and sleepless. And then you would never have to sleep again and you would never have to eat. And then you can just work all the time. 2 years ago in the summer, I had it every day. Really? How come? That's awfully a lot. Wait, what's once a day? That's way more than usual. What if we give it to the people who have 12 stomachs? Yeah, that'll solve it. That solves their hunger as well. It just depends entirely on, like, can they even make up for the amount of metabolism that's required? Yeah, oh, okay. That makes way more sense then. I'm sorry to hear, D6. I'm sorry to hear. However, would a little bit of gene treatment help? I'm not sure. Let's see. Are there... I don't think... Actually, this is a really good book. We might want that. We have a lot of money, actually. We have 11k. We could probably sell some of our seal plate stuff. And we could... No, we want to keep the gold. I think we keep the gold. We do have... There's a roulette table here. Do we want to sell anything else? Probably not. Super heal is a really cool one, actually. Oh, wait, what? Fast darkness healing is considered super heal? I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. Not true. Early maturity, Jotun frame, strange appearance. Yeah, we'll just keep all the other ones. We'll sell the Death Knight one. I don't really like having classes attached to genes. It feels more inconvenient than normal otherwise, you know, because then you always have to have that gene as a part of it. So, I'm in pain, but I believe I'll recover soon. I'm in pain too. She did lose her eye. I feel like maybe we should make Electra an eye patch. The Jotun one was for Mal. Was it? It's Aura. Okay. It's Aura. He's farming. He's Aura farming. Also, Mr. Brown, I'm curious. What possibly could I do to convince you to spend silver or points? I'm trying to entice you via different ways. I'm trying to entice you via different ways to try and get you to spend your silver and points. Donate all of it to me? No, I think that's too much. I don't know, lol. You better tell me right now. You better... Event meteorite? Wait, no, surely it doesn't work to buy multiple, right? No, okay. Oh my gosh, I was like, no way. No way would just do multiple in one go. What was experience with sleep paralysis? My experience? I think my experience... I'm trying to think back on this now, because it was a really long time ago since I last had it. I remember being quite young at the time, because this was really long ago. And I would wake up in the middle of the night. However, I would find that I couldn't open my eyes when I experienced sleep paralysis. So most of the times that I had sleep paralysis, I was basically... I could still talk, which was the wild thing about it, but I couldn't open my eyes, and I couldn't move, and I could speak and I could think. So I knew I was awake, but I couldn't move my body. And at one point, I remember, and this was, as said, a really, really long time ago when I was a kid. So I was at one point crying, and I was calling for one of my parents to help me because I couldn't wake up. And I remember them walking into the room and saying, "Just open your eyes." And I remember saying, "I can't open my eyes. I can't open my eyes. I can't see anything." And they had to like shake me awake because my sleep paralysis was so bad. I legitimately could not move. It was like maybe more than paralysis, but I'm not sure. I don't want to put a label on it, but it was really scary for me as a kid. Mine, most of the times I couldn't open my eyes and I had my mouth open trying to scream, but no sound. I could still talk during mine, surprisingly, but I couldn't do anything else. I was completely stuck, and I would try call out to my parents and scream that I couldn't wake up. It was it must have been nightmarish to see, because like if you walk into your kid's room and they're screaming, "I can't wake up, I can't wake up, I can't wake up," and they're having an intelligible conversation with you, that's pretty scary, I think. I don't know, playing through stream I don't know, playing it through stream kind of overwhelms me, and even if I had the game myself, I'd be overwhelmed too, and only play it for a bit. I don't know what I want to do with the points for the game through the stream. Okay, yeah, no, that's fine, that's fine. I'm just curious what I can do. I only had it 2 times with my eyes open and seen stuff. I don't think I've ever hallucinated or anything like that, at least for mine. Aug, can you check the one I posted works? I'll pay the points after. Let's see. If this is a PNG, it should work. No, what is this? Just Discord doing it? I can't tell. No, it doesn't look like it's transparent. You're gonna have to get rid of the background in this case, Helios. You gotta get rid of the background, the gray background, and actually, I can do that in like a second. I can do that in that case, Helios. Let's see. Where's my every time I try right click and I'm like, please download this to my assets folder. It's like, no, I don't want to. And I'm like, why? Why won't you let me? And it just decides it shouldn't. Let's see. Open this up with PaintNet. Yep, because I don't need to open up something as heavy as GIMP. Let's do that. Let's remove the background mostly. Let's do like so. And then let's save as Keyblade. Oops, I call it Keyblade. That's not what I meant. Keyblade. Here we go. Like so. Like so. Okay. I can do it. If you pay the points, you pay me up front, you can get it. It was some dog that looked like my mom. A dog that looked like your mom? That's a... That sounds like an insult. One-winged angel. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, very cool. Okay, what did you want to change in specific though? Was it your main weapon, the war order? Here we go. Drop that. Customize, upload image, go to D drive, Rimworld assets, Keyblade, and Save. I'm gonna Save that, and then force equip. There we go. Very nice. And now you've got the Keyblade. Surprisingly, the orientation worked quite well. Maybe I need a change for discos. Wait, I don't know where your hand is meant to be. I need to select this. Oh, actually I can't. I need you to drop this, and then I'm gonna move this down a little bit. Okay, so maybe it should be like, I don't know, 20 pixels off, something like that. Let's see. Let's do like so, and then let's move it down like that, and then save, and then hopefully this should be fine. Force equip. And now if we hold it, it still doesn't look right. Okay. We'll just go. It looks so puny small. I can try increase the size of it. Let's check. Where are you? Here we go. You are going to Drop the... I mean, to be fair, because of your Titan frame, every weapon is going to look tiny. Teeny tiny to you, or compared to you. Okay, no, I can't change the size of it. Yeah. Unfortunate. We can force equip it. But yeah, it's gonna be that size permanently. I think it's tied to the asset size of the model. I remember as a little kid having this weird dream, in a dream thing, where I slept with my mom, but I was laying in the bed, then the dream turned around to look at the TV, and then it did a sudden, extremely loud noise, and the TV had a bright white flash, and I instantly woke up, not moving for a whole minute. Then I turned around again to look, and the same thing happened, and I woke up for real, and I never looked at the TV again when I was sleeping. And I specifically told my parents to turn off the adapter plug to completely power off the TV, so it never happened. I was so scared every night before sleeping. Yeah, honestly, I feel like when you're young, it's really easy to kind of extrapolate and turn even the simplest things into something incredibly scary. You know, like only the slightest thing has to happen and you just immediately begin to feel like, oh my gosh, this might be the end of me. I remember at one point that I thought I hallucinated the tooth fairy. I was like, no way this is real. No way this is real. I'm like walking back to my bed, and as I'm walking past one of the corridors, I think it was like a glint of light that hit my eyes in like the perfect way, but I was like, oh my gosh, is that the tooth fairy? I don't know why I was thinking of the tooth fairy then and there, but that was the one thing I hallucinated, and I was like, in my mind, my rational thought process was, okay, I shouldn't bother the tooth fairy while she's at work. I need to go to the kitchen. So I went to the kitchen and I sat down in the kitchen for like 5 to 10 minutes and I walked back to bed just to make sure that she had properly finished her job. I don't know what possessed me at that point as well, but that's just what happened. I, for whatever reason, rationalized my hallucination at that point. One time when I was little, a homeless man climbed onto our balcony. What? How did he manage that? That's actually terrifying. I don't know if you guys have this kind of shared phenomenon, but I had sleep paralysis and had like 4 or 5 of the watchers in my room. 4 or 5 of the watchers? Watchers as in what? Who watches the watchers? It was like for one quick second that the TV sound was like an extremely loud noise, I can't describe that, went off through the whole house and the TV flashed a bright white light, all in 1 second before I just woke up from shock. I think loud noises, it's again like one of those phobias where even just seeing things in the dark makes you think of the scariest thing you could imagine. I remember when Thriller came out, the music video, I, for whatever reason, was really, I was shocked by it. And, you know, it's kind of like even when you're grown up, sometimes you just see something scary and then your mind doesn't stop thinking about it. And then for whatever reason, I was like walking through the dark at one point outside, and my mind begins to think of Thriller and how there was the werewolf and the zombies that hunted the girl down. And I was like, wait, that's actually pretty terrifying. And then I looked over my shoulder and there's no one there, and then the paranoia gets to me and I'm like, dude, all of this from a music video just because the CG was a little bit uncanny valley? I'm not too sure, man. It seems like a crazy thing that happened just because a music video decides to spook me a little bit more than some horror games have. I've never had sleep paralysis. I'm glad in that case. It's not fun, but it is definitely an interesting experience. The Grudge made me scared. What? The Grudge made me scared of Asian people as a kid? I hope not. Also, you guys should probably pick the flu. We can cure the flu using Solstice's elixir, but gut worms? That's just gonna make you all puke more, I think. Is flu or gutworms again worse? Definitely do not pick gutworms. Now that we know how bad gutworms is, at least we can cure the flu immediately, or at least way quicker. So, when I hate loud noises, my fight or flight reflex kicks in. Just like a week ago, there was a thunderstorm, and I was like, whatever, the storm will pass. But one lightning went off literally in front of our house. It woke me up. I gasped from shock, and I hyperventilated for a full 10 minutes and had tears coming out. I had the window open too because it was so hot. Man, I feel that sometimes it's I think people often forget how scary weather can be. I know it's easy to look at thunderstorms and lightning strikes and thunder just in general as being fairly non-intrusive or not scary whatsoever. Some people will say like, "Oh, it's peaceful in the rain and whatnot," but I don't know, when you're out on sea or whenever there's like a legitimate thunderstorm and you have waves crashing onto like a boat, or if you're in a forest with trees and it's super duper windy and raining, some of these things, it's surprisingly easy for some of these things to become really scary really quick. I used to have a fear, and at some points as well, actually, I used to have a fear of windstorms and like tornado gusts and so on that would just like rip out trees and throw it on houses. And I remember at some point I was thinking to myself, "Oh gosh, wouldn't it be so terrible if that happened?" And then like not even a month later, a tree had collapsed onto the roof of one of my neighbors. I was like, "Oh my gosh." Maybe I was right to just... Maybe I was having precognition at that point, because how did I know? Why did I start developing that fear around the time it was happening? I guess, then again, it could be seasonal and so on, right? That it was beginning to happen then. Lightning very rarely hits near our house, and this one hit in front of our house, so the lights and noises was instant and loud AF. Yeah, I think I get spooked by loud noises very easily, as you've seen with bits and so on. Have you heard about the heat burst like Satan's storm in Texas? I don't know about Satan's storm, but I have heard about heat bursts. That much I know. I don't know if I would ever... I mean, I've maybe heard it colloquially said as that, but not about Satan. Okay, let's check. Satan's storm. Let's see, Satan's Storm, Texas. Yeah, I only know it is heat bursts, but I never considered it a Satan's Storm. That's quite cool for a name. During heat bursts have reached above sometimes... Oh my gosh, more than 10 degrees? Or 18 degrees? In only a few minutes? That is wild. I never knew what the rate of it was. Huh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, let's see. Okay, apparently one happened last month. Wait, no way. It went from 79 to 93? Good gosh. That is crazy. That's nearly a full 10, I guess, for you. I had to turn on my phone flashlight after it happened because I had a giant panic attack, and then at work my throat hurt a lot because of the crying. Yeah. I don't blame you there. Sometimes loud noises is just enough to shock you. No pun intended. Because of lightning and because of... I don't know, sometimes it's just being alone and being unsure if you'd survive and so on. Well, all this talk about dreams, sleep paralysis, and horror movies made me close my window and turn on the light. I always have mine on. My lights in my tower and everything... They're on a timer, so I can, I don't have to turn anything on. Some of them are also motion sensitive, so. It was like 160 Fahrenheit. Really? Wait, what? Oh my gosh. Let's check. Wait. Satan's storm? Oh my gosh. Wait, seriously? That is crazy. 160? No. How much was Satan's Storm? Satan's Storm temperature? Do we have any recorded facts? It was 140. Okay. Oh my gosh. So it would have been 60? Okay. 140 is nuts. 140 is insane. Okay. I want to see ball lightning one day. I do too, but I'm worried that I'll interpret it as like a stalker anomaly. That's what I'd be fearful of. Also, where is Solstix? Okay. Solstix, I want you to heal yourself. I want you to do this. Lol, true. Yeah, right? I want you to do this. Did you didn't use it on yourself. You just decided, nah, I'm gonna change my job right now. I want you to use it on yourself, buddy. We go. There we go. Now you've got Herbal Elixir, and that should help you fight through this. Regeneration fights diseases. Yeah, there you go. And then we'll get you to throw a Herbal Elixir at... let's do Disco right now, just in case. I don't know if we will get a raid, but if we did get a raid, then this solves it. Well, I'm gonna go now. Me and my friend are gonna play Welcome to the Game together, with me streaming. Oh, what's Welcome to the Game? Welcome to the Game. Oh, I don't know why I thought of Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses or whatever it was. But welcome to the game. Thanks for healing me first. We need to make sure that you're all in tip-top shape. Also, say it with Solsticks. You know? Say it with Solstick. Take care, though. I hope to see you tomorrow for some Yakuza in that case. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. The Dark Web Simulator game? Wait. Am I thinking of the right one? Is that the one where you have the drone and you're in, like, an apartment building and you have to, like, order things and you get randomly hacked and, the guy, like, breaks into the apartment? Yeah, it's that one. Oh my gosh, that one terrified me. I saw that when that came out. That terrifies me. It is way too scary. It's a cute and wholesome game? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. That seems like torture. Yeah, now I'm gonna play it. That seems like torture. I do not envy you for being able to do that or sitting through and putting yourself through it. That's... Oh, no. No. It's the first one, which is not as bad. I kind of think that the older a game is, sometimes it's easier to feel more afraid of. Because with modern games, one of the main differences that you get with modern games is that their control schemes and controls just in general are less clunky and are usually better. Like, some of them are well designed in that sense, right? Like, you have a lot of things in place, a lot of safety rails to make sure that the game, despite maybe being made by one person or whatever, or in, like, a newer engine, it still has a couple of safeguards in place where, like, you know the game is reliable enough at that point. But older games, they all have, like, custom written engines with clunky controls or things that just don't work the way that you expect them to, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't escape. I can't run away from this guy. He's way too fast for whatever reason or something like that, you know? So, wait, did you see the game where you mana corner store at night and you have to teleport people from monsters trying to eat you? No, I don't think I have. Is that, Please Let Me Inside? Is that the name of the one? I'm not sure if that... Manage a corner store and let them inside. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. But still, the developers... games are really creepy. I mean, yeah, the first one does have its own special creepy charm too. Yeah, because I was thinking like Slender Man is super scary to me still. Also, take care, Mr. Brown. Hope to see you tomorrow for some Yakuza 0 in that case. Bye-bye. And also take care, Disco. Bye-bye. We're wrapping up soon anyway. I'm not going to do like overly long for for this stream, but I'm grateful. I remember playing that Bigfoot hunting horror game with friends. I think I've seen that. I mostly tend towards single-player games because it's easy and it's convenient. Have you played any Chilla's art games? Chilla's art games. Chilla's art. Let's see. Chilla's art. No, I have not. I think I've seen some of them. Apparently, I've marked a couple of them as ignore, I'm not interested. But no, I have not seen some of them. I think I've seen some of them, like, on YouTube or from other VTubers playing it, but I don't think I've ever played one myself because I don't like horror games. Horror games scare me too much. Horror games are not something I would ever willingly play myself. You would really have to push me. You would really have to push me to play some kind of horror game. And honestly, I feel like even just getting myself to touch Resident Evil 2 was really difficult. Well, I hate horror as well. I'm too superstitious. I'm not superstitious in any sense. I'm just very afraid. I'm very much a scaredy cat because I have some phobias or fears, like of being chased, for instance, and know that I would absolutely freak out if I decided to play a horror game and I'm like, oh, well, actually, I don't know if I'm gonna survive. Like, I get goosebumps. You've seen how I react, even with Resident Evil 4. I can barely aim at some of the regenerators. Some of them, they just scare me way too much. It scares me way too much. If it's just about humans, I don't really care. I'll just turn around and hurt them bad before they can hurt me. Yeah, it depends. If I'm being hunted down by a human, I can see it being very scary. Like, if it's Jason Voorhees, yeah. I would still be scared, for sure. For sure. We will build up your tolerance. I think it's normal. Or I think that's normal. My tolerance is not high to begin with. So the fact that you want to build it up? Oh, no. How about we don't make me play any horror game? How about I don't play any horror game? But anything supernatural is giga scary. What would you say is some of your scariest games in that case? Like, what would you place as some of the highest ones? Like, how do you quantify what is scarier compared to others? I think, actually, what did it for me in Resident Evil was just all of the, like, thematic scenery and ambiance and everything. And it's also one of the reasons why Outlast, even the title screen, scared me so much. Because even the title screen was basically just ambience that made me feel like, oh my gosh, there's gonna be scary dudes in this game, and I don't know if I'm gonna make it out alive. I was so terrified to boot up that game whatsoever. It's like instinct. We don't like being chased around. It's in our DNA. Oh, that's what you meant. Yeah. In our DNA. Yeah, for sure. I don't like being chased around. It terrifies me way too much. And especially if I'm like slow and unable to run away. That terrifies me so much. So I usually have nightmares about that exact scenario. Now, I'll go full John Wick on them if it's just a human. I mean, Jason Voorhees is technically a monster, right? He's supernatural. Or do you not consider him supernatural? It's John Pork? No? No, Jason Voorhees, John Pork, he's not real. John Pork can't hurt you. He can't do anything. We can. Wait, do I need... Oh. This just requires meat, but it does require a lot of meat. We maybe should try slaughtering a couple of the cows. Let's see. Do I have the cows on auto slaughter? Oh, I don't. Okay. Wait, but then I should say that we want like 6 or so. So we'll do that. 3 is fine. 3 is fine. Yeah, blah blah blah. I think that should work. Oh, but actually, no, never mind. They should be fine as adults or totals, but we want only 2 adults, yeah. So they'll grow up and then we'll get rid of them. John Pork. I don't know. I don't know. I'll take in a fight like Chucky or Ghostface. Isn't Ghostface also supernatural? And Chucky is like a curse, right? So even if you tried to kill Chucky, you basically stand no chance because he can always just come back regardless of how you fight. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what he is, but I thought that he was... No, Ghostface is just a human. It's just a guy in a costume. Oh! Okay, I thought that it was some supernatural being as well. Then again, would Scary Movie ever lie to me about it just being a guy that says, "What's up?" Or is that unrealistic? Who knows? It's a serial killer? He's just a doll, bro? Yeah, but, like, he's a cursed doll, isn't he? Even if you try to throw away Chucky, he still comes back. You'll probably survive if it follows you. Maybe. I don't know. I've never watched Chucky. I just was under the assumption that he was, like, a curse of some kind that shows up or ends up showing up somehow. The movie... Oh! You'll probably survive. It follows you because it follows you. Okay, yeah, the movie It Follows You. Sorry, I thought you were writing a sentence, just It Follows You. Yeah, that makes more sense. But also, I don't like It Follows You, and it would never happen to me because I would never have... I'm continuing to retain my wizard powers. Look it up. Yeah, I know. I think I know, right? You give up your wizard powers by doing the deed, as they say. Right? That's how it works. If you don't find dolls scary, go watch Annabelle or however it's written. I think I watched that one. I think I've watched that one, but I haven't watched Chucky. Anytime I watched Chucky, I just thought, I want to Chucky this guy in the bin. Because he's just so annoying. Every single one of these evil doll movies, they're all just so annoying. I really think that, like, they could have written some of these movies better. Maybe if you got a a Chad to just throw them in the bin and leave them there. Throw them in the trash and forget about them. Take them out to the dumpster truck, get everyone to look at it and like, okay, this guy, he's going in the bin. I'm not going to deal with him anymore. I'm not going to deal with him anymore, and he's gone. So, if you have intercourse, do you lose your powers? Well, I technically wouldn't be a wizard anymore. I've got Archmage wizard powers for a reason, after all. Okay, story time about dolls. My mom collected these weird porcelain dolls, and one of them was a clown. Why was it a clown? Did it do something silly? I'm also curious, like, why is every single clown thing that's possessed evil? Is it just meant to represent that clowns are evil by nature? Because it seems really weird. I've never been afraid of clowns. I think clowns, if anything, I'm more impressed by how well they do their makeup and whatnot. Because genuinely, coming up with a unique design for clown makeup and having, like, a unique gag or gig and whatnot, I don't fear them. I think it's, like, impressive, if anything. So I don't know where the fear of clowns comes from. But I do think it's weird that every single piece of paraphernalia that's related to them somehow ends up turning evil in horror movies. I guess, or at least it's common. I don't think I've ever seen a clown object in a horror movie that hasn't been evil in some way. She actually hung that one up on top of the staircase. I always hated it. What? Why on the staircase? Grandma tumbling down the staircase again moments. And then one night I went to the toilet and it was gone. Oh my goodness. It's just there one moment. Just went to the, it was like, oh wait, let me get you some privacy. Because I knew you were going to the bathroom, so you decided to just, nah, I don't think I'll be doing this anymore. Just decides to sit on another shelf and wait for you to pass by the bathroom again. And then it's like, okay, my seat's done now. At least I've got full range, full view again. Back of the stairs. Proselytization? Oh, okay, it's just some other colony that we don't care about. I'll beat them up. I don't know, the 2016 clown craze? Yeah, I suppose so. I feel like there's a lot of trends that just decided, oh yeah, people are going to be afraid of this for whatever particular reason, you know? At least, that's how I feel. Anyways. Imagine you got bed, and you want to make sure your alarm on the floor next to you is on, but you can't find the alarm clock in the dark. There are some of those weird, like, alarm clocks that race along the ground or that try to escape you or whatever. Those, I feel, are a little bit excessive, because I don't think I need that, you know? I don't think I need to have one of those things. I can wake up fine. I can wake up just fine without having to require an alarm clock that races along the ground and whatnot, you know? I remember when I was little, someone left a rat skull and some hair outside our door. What? Why would they do that? Is that like some kind of witch magic? Why would a witch do that? Why would a witch do that? So you turn on the light, look under your bed, and now guess where your mom put the clown doll? That is evil. That is really evil. But I could see myself doing that to my kids. I could see myself doing that, you know? That's so funny, actually. I would 100% do that. If I had the chance of owning a really creepy doll and just being able to silently move them around the house, oh my gosh. It would be so funny. I'm so sorry, but I can 100% see myself doing that. Well, just so you know, apprentices, if something weird like that does happen, just assume it was me, because I would absolutely do that. My grandpa from my father's side is one. Wait, he's a clown? Like, as a profession? Oh, no joke, she's a fortune teller and scams people? Wait, what? Like, if it gets too close to me, I'll beat him up, that little dude. I don't care, it's self-defense. Thankfully, they're made out of porcelain, so I feel like it would be pretty easy to get done, you know? Not much of a fight. But we have reached the end of today. It was a lot of fun to hang out. I hope you guys like the new strike system. I think the new strike system is fun. However, I do feel like maybe I should have some kind of persistence to what strikes you've taken before. Maybe you guys can leave a couple of suggestions as well for what you think you want to do with the strike system. We should watch a horror movie together. I can do watch-alongs. That could be something that we do in the future. I won't stream the movie, but we can do watch-alongs where I'll rent the movie myself, and then you can play back my stream along with the movie and whatnot, and keep me on in the background, and we'll type in chat and whatnot. I think that's a lot of fun, actually. I actually really like watch-alongs. I've never watched a watch-along of someone else before, however, so I'm not sure how that's gonna work. But we could do something like that. I actually don't mind. That's a really good idea, actually. Thank you. We could do that if you're interested. I'll beat him up preemptively in self-defense. Okay, I think that's aggravated assault. I don't think that's self-defense at that point. And now, I mean, even if it's a human disguised as a clown, yeah. WTF, is Twitch reading my messages? Maybe? Is it? Oh no. Is it reading your messages and deciding that it won't send stuff? Why do I get creepypastas recommended as a channel? I guess it's because you're talking. They really want you to be in on this whole creepy doll shenanigan stuff. They're like, yeah, I remember that one story Helios told me about him having a creepy doll in the middle of his stairwell. It's time we begin recommending him a couple of new ones to replace that. But again, as you said, your mom moving the doll around, I would do that. I would 100% do that. That is such a funny prank. So it came at you with a chainsaw, you have a right to defend yourself. Can dolls even wield a chainsaw at that point? I'm not too sure. I don't think it can be self-defense. I think you're making things up, and I don't think this gives a good impression of it all. I think you would have to have a little bit more to aggravate some kind of result so that you don't get thrown in jail for beating up a doll. But then again, it's a doll, so it would be destruction of property instead. So I like those Reddit rabbit hole. Those are scary too. Yeah, some of them are. I think it was, there was this old YouTube video, I think it was Marble Hornets or something like that, that I watched maybe like a decade ago. I think that one was pretty interesting. Then there were like some creepypasta channels and whatnot that I watched. I'm not like a massive nerd when it comes to creepypasta stuff. It was more like, oh, if it's popular enough to reach me, then it might be good. So something like Angel Engine was pretty good. That's Slenderman? Yeah. I'm just saying the video title in specific because that's one of the ones that I remember. I did very much enjoy some of the Slenderman lore and whatnot, but that is extremely old. Just the whole Slenderman mythology, but the actual video or the movie, the documentary, the fake documentary for Marble Hornets, that's much more new than Slenderman is. But yeah, I remember playing the original Slenderman game when it came out, and I was terrified of it. I'm still terrified of it, still. So, yeah. Oh, I forgot. I don't have my outro music. Sorry. There we go. I completely forgot. That's on me. Sorry. Anyone bringing any doll into my home, I'll burn it the second they come in. I can see why. I mean, every instance that we've seen of movies with dolls and someone having an affixation or a fixation on dolls just in general usually never leads to anything good happening. Anytime you see someone with a fixation for dolls in series and movies that even remotely get close to the horror genre, I think you're in for a world of trouble. You know what I mean? Sony made a movie about it too? They did? Huh. Okay, I don't think I recall that whatsoever. Then again, because of horror movies, I also hate children and old people. They're scary too and creepy. I mean, to be fair, most kids are pretty terrifying in movies. They don't act logically, so whenever, like, if you got a kid, okay, this, you would not know what to do in a situation with a child, like, without knowing the tags of the movie that you're in, like, what genre of movie you're in. Because imagine this, you're standing in, like, the middle of a road or whatever, and suddenly a kid stands in front of you, and then he bolts for you. Like, are you gonna dodge out of the way, or are you gonna let him attack you? Because you don't know if he's gonna attack you. You don't know what the genre of the movie is at that point. Or you're standing in the middle of a park, and you're just like, I don't know, feeding the birds, feeding some pigeons or whatever, and a kid runs up to you, like, okay, I don't know what you're doing. If this were real life, I would be like, oh, okay, it's a kid or whatnot. Maybe I don't care. But if it were a horror movie or any kind of movie, I don't know. I'd backflip over the kid. Yeah, well, watch this. I'm gonna disappear right now. And yeah, they're figurines. How dare you call my anime figurines dolls? They're anime figurines. Also, yes, the stream is ending. Watch this. This is what would happen if a terrifying kid from a horror movie showed up. I would do Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I'll see you tomorrow with some Yakuza 0. Take care, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.